Can you hear me now? Probably yes. So now supposedly I should have sound. Let me see, I'm on 5 minutes. 5 minutes without sound. Nice. Yes. Cool. So I will crop this when the video is loaded on YouTube. So basically what I was going through, it's that in 10 hours, at least in less than 10 hours, we will have the 11.11 sale. Sorry, because there is no noise reduction on the mic. So it might be a little bit weird today. NVIDIA for some reason just crapping on me again with the drivers. YouTube sound is a yes, okay. So basically the biggest sale of the year. Not that it really, I don't know if it feels that well this year, but because we have been spoiled with early birds deals, I think. But either way, if we go in here, we can check the coupons. So I already went through them, but with no sound. Now with sound, it's, I would say, the usual stuff. 3 on 15, 5 on 29, 12 on 69, 20 129, 40 on 249. And I think you should not spend more than this. So I put some deals. We'll start with new stuff as usual. Then we'll go through my top picks, the best prices that I could find on Aliexpress, and the things that I will buy by the end. So not a lot of cheap stuff, and by cheap stuff I mean like lures and hooks, because at some point it doesn't make much sense when you have like the biggest sale. You should have this sale to buy the more expensive stuff. You can take the choice days to get the cheaper soft plastics. One thing I would recommend, and I will bring it up on the by the end of the video, I think it's one of the last items. If you want to buy like a tungsten and things that you would buy on bulk, now it's a good time to buy it with the coupons. So I will go look on that type of thing, and maybe I don't really say hooks, but tungsten is one thing that is quite expensive, and if you buy a couple of bags, it will add up by the end. So starting with new stuff, instead of going Aliexpress, I contacted some vendors. So I contacted iStar, and they sent me a few pictures of things that they will have on sale on the near future that are closely related with ultralight and BFS. So first of all, we start in here. This is from Kingdom. Just for you can have some free stuff with your things. If you buy orders over $111.01, you will get a pair of fishing gloves. One thing that I have to mention with fishing gloves, not that it's my area of expertise, it's if you don't have cutouts in here, so like a bit of leather or fake leather, or like, I don't know how do you call it, this sort of textile. If you don't have cutouts, like a bit of lycra, and then you have the bit of thing that will protect you from getting jabbed by the fish spine. After like the second fish catch, the fish will just slip. So you need a little bit of like cutout patches. I found patched gloves better to hold especially slimy fish. And you have a lot of discounts on Kingdom. I will cover some of them on a bit. Purelure also sent this. So if you get the NDMBLE rod, you will get a sport shirt and a hat. If you get the Realm rod, you will get a pair of probably the nicest gloves that I own. And as you see, you have like the different materials and the patches. This will really help hold a fish, especially if you cannot hold it by the mouth. You have to hold it by the side. It will help a lot. with NVIDIA, I don't know if this is a typo because they usually write it Novia. You will get some straps, and with a reflex arc you will get a very nice t-shirt. I have to say the fabric on this one is quite nice, and you get a sun visor. So for me it will be very, very bad for my head. So this is what they have to offer if you buy something from Kingdom or Purelure. Moving on with the things from iStar will release, I think it's already on sale on Aliexpress from like a third party, because they say they don't have any stock to send overseas. So this is already sold on an internal market on China, and it's a DC reel, basically another one by iStar. It's the Night IDC. It's supposedly good for lighter lures, lighter presentations, like 3 modes, safe, free, compete. It will be quite light. The spool 8.2 grams. It's actually quite light for BFS with digital controls. It's supposedly waterproof, 10+1 ball bearing, so quite nice. It will be, I don't know if they have in here the weight, but I think it's around 130, something like that, TP knobs. So it starts at 2 grams, and in here you have a comparison of casting lengths. So safety mode, you get 16 meters with 2 grams, 22 meters on the freedom mode, and 24 meters on the competitive mode. So not that bad. Recommended lure weight 2 to 15 grams, so right on the ballpark that you should be safely doing without any hassle on BFS. So they send me a lot of pictures. I have no idea. I think they will try to put it on sale during the 11/11. I have no idea on prices. The third party store is selling it for under 100 euros. So 147 grams carbon fiber frame with an aluminum alloy spool and 5 kilos of drag, 7.1 to 1 gear ratio. So nothing too special, but again, iStar can be either very, very good in terms of performance or very, very bad in terms of putting the reel together. But it looks cool. Other thing that they have, it's a aluminum body spinning reel. So this intrigued me a lot, because I will talk it probably by the end of the video. I want to buy spinning reels, but I'm paying close attention to the line lay. So one of the problems fishing with braid is that braid is so thin in comparison with mono that you will not have enough loops on the when the reel is pulling the line, that you have a lot of crossings on the braid. So instead of doing very tight loops, it will do like a lot of X wrapping on the spool, and that will give you wind knots. So every time someone mentions a reel that will have tighter looping and tighter spooling, I will pay very close attention from now on. And this one, even though it's not for sale yet, it looks like it would be a sort of the iStar version of a Stradic. So you get a metal body and you get the tighter line lay. So high density. So it will be sort of a slow oscillating mechanism. This intrigues me a lot. I'm eager to know the price. I would say if it's you can see in here the mechanism, so you have another gear in between the up and down movement just to make it slower. Let's see how good it is because I only have one spinning reel from iStar or Acida, whatever you want to call it, and it's actually the best reel that I have from Acida, at least in terms of engineering and construction point. A lot of pictures in here from it. It looks, I would say, quite nice. It has a 1500 size. It's 198 grams, so a bit of on the heavy side, but if you're fishing with a 220, so 7 to 8 foot rod, it starts to need a little bit more of a heavy reel, and this can come on handy. You have 6 kilos of drag, 5.2 to 1 gear ratio. You have a TP rubber knob, which usually it's quite soft and nice, and the spool should be quite shallow because the line capacity from 0.8 PE, it's only 95 meters. So looks okay. You have for some reason 2 ball bearings on the line roller, carbon brake pad, corrosion. So this is made for salt water. It makes sense because of all the weight and being aluminum body reel, but I'm very eager to this one. If it's under 100 euros, I'm pulling the trigger on this bad boy. And if you get a bigger size, you'll get a power lever. So, but enough of these pictures, and let's go back to the browser and look on the Aliexpress website. So new stuff on Aliexpress. Not here. In here. So you probably seen my post. This is the Mifine microbite travel. Until now, I didn't have any problems with travel rods. If a rod is very flimsy, which is not the case with the microbite, sometimes the travel version it's slightly better in terms of noodliness. This one should be a banger. Some sizes are not available yet, but look at the price on this. I'm very... I will do it, just put it on the cart. I really want a lighter casting version, either this or this one. But this one is quite cheap and the other one is quite similar to the other ones that I have. But look at this, it's 35 euros for a BFS rod travel with a 40 plus 46 ton carbon blank chef's kiss. And you can take it anywhere. It probably fit very neatly on the backpack. Man, look, 50 centimeters, which is like, I would say, not this, a little bit more, but you know where I'm going. Very good rod, best blank, under 100 euros. Anywhere on Aliexpress. One of the best rods that I own, and now it's a travel rod. So let's see in here the specs. In terms of weight, you don't get that much weight either. So 60, 70, 70 and 80 grams from 180 centimeters to 220. That's actually pretty nice. And the casting version, it's around 10 grams more. So price point, very, very good. Also from Mifine, you probably also saw the post of that I put it. Other thing, the Mifine holotip, I didn't mention. It will be on sale on European warehouses probably in 1 to 2 weeks. So if you want to save a couple of euros, probably wait on the holotip if you want to buy it, because they will put it on the Polish warehouse. So if you're in Europe, I will wait, because it's 20 euros that I can put somewhere towards something else. But this one will take a long time, so I'll probably bite the bullet and just buy it straight from this link. So this is a Mifine attacking. For some reason they didn't. I talked with Mifine today during the morning, asked about when we can expect this to get on EU warehouses. So 2 months probably, because they still have low volume for this rod. I suspect they are doing this rod for other brands, not only Mifine or some sort of variation of this rod. It looks quite cool. It's sort of a nano jig. I hope that it's slightly a little bit more springy than the nano jig, but fast rod, super ultralight, 168 centimeters and 180 centimeters, 65 grams, cast weight 0.2 to 0.2 and 0 to 3 grams. Guide count, it's on point 6 plus 1, 7 plus 1. Top diameter 0.8 millimeters, which let me think this is a solid tip, so it probably be better for a little bit upper weight, but I don't know, 3 grams seems like a good point. It looks awesome. I think if you have a casting castrol, with this it will look very, very sweet. Again, in 2 months, if you don't have a lot of activity for fishing right now, just wait and get it when it gets to the European warehouses, because I think this one, Lithuanian folks, Polish folks, even British folks on canals and the Netherlands will love this. So looks awesome. I'll bite the bullet, get one, so you know what one of the rods that I'm getting. Fishing fans, again, a bit hit or miss brand. They have things that are very, very good, like the performance in terms of at least the materials that they put on. This one has an aluminum handle. I think it's see-through, quite inexpensive, so 25 euros. Fuji guides. I think you can use it, from what I understand, you can use it as a bait caster and as a spinning rod, which is actually quite nice. So it's a double purpose rod, so I'll just put it on my cart because I cannot pass on this. I didn't notice this when I put it in here. I just put it in here because it looks cool. But as you can see, so I'm pointing to the screen, I'm a dumbass. So basically you have the pistol and you have like a straight ring. You just swap it's not actually the first section. The first section is just an extension of the rod. So it's a 5 foot, so 150, 168. So probably like a very cool size for ultralight applications. So let's go back in here. So, and you have like 2 first parts of the rod. Where is it? In here. So you have 2 first parts of the rod other than the extension. You can use this one for casting and you can use this one for spinning. So pretty awesome, I have to say. Fishing fans, I'm getting this one also because this is quite good. Probably get it now because in here it says special offer and this is messing up with my brain. And I probably needed to get it right now. I think this reel was already out, but for some reason it's showing as a new one. This is the Tsurunoya Spirit Fox 50. Again, it says it will cast from 1 to 10 grams. It has a 7.3 to 1 gear ratio and a 5.6 to 1 gear ratio. I don't know why would you want such a slow gear ratio, just slow down your retrieve. But it might be useful for jerkbaits, hard lures, basically, if you want to work them slower, or if they made the Spirit Fox on casting and you can use this for aging, which sometimes would require slower retrieves. The spool, it's a little bit too heavy and it has a long shaft, so. But again, it's Tsurunoya, I trust in them to make a good product. So 41 euros from a solid brand, only 2 sold by now, so new stuff. Another very intriguing reel that I have on my cart and I plan to get it. The Cast King Royale Megatron Spinning Fishing Reel 5+1 ball bearings, precision line lay lure freshwater fishing reel long cast bass. So this reel, again, as I told you with the one that I showed you the pictures from MyStar, the M9, even though it's just a plastic body reel, it You see, precision line lay ultimate control. Slow oscillation line lay precise control every turn. Let's see the specs. So 172 grams, so sort of a good reel to pair with, I don't know, maybe I would say 200 centimeter rod, 2 meter rod, something like that. You also have the 2000 size, which is around the same weight, and you get a little bit more on your spool per turn. And then just the 2500 is just a big step up, a lot of weight, a lot of drag. This one has 3 kilos of drag. It's a true finesse reel, but the 1000 will just take 150 meters of 0.8 P. The other one will just take the same amount but 1 P. So probably 200 meters at least of 0.6 if you want to put 0.6 in. Very expensive, 30 euros. I don't know if this is a special offer price for me. I want one. The other one that I saw, if you come in here, the price it's 48 euros, and I don't know why this appeared to me, because I'm bald, but I have a lot of hair on my body, so I have no idea. I'm not trying to grow my hair. At this point I just wish I didn't have to shave like every 2 days. Also from Cast King, this rod I just put it in here, one because it's new and one because it's very confusing. You can see in here it has ultralight models. It's quite cheap, so under 40 euros. But if you go in here and look at the specs, so 183 centimeters, cast weight 2 to 10 grams, which is actually quite normal for like a finesse bait casting rod. But if you look at the tip diameter, 1.7 millimeters, that is quite thick. And I mean it. I think the Purelure stream that I have has a thinner tip, and it casts like almost until 17, 18 grams. Very, very, very weird. So I don't know if I would get this rod, but if you see it, just keep in mind that even though it says ultralight, the tip, it's very thick, which means two things. It might be a little bit too damp on the feel, or it might be very hard to cast with it. So are you having any problems with the audio? Because some reason YouTube is giving me a note, because the beat stream audio, it's very, very low. If you have any problems hearing me, just leave a message on the chat, please. But moving on, new stuff. Purelure Sheet Air Creek DC reel, 100 euros or around that point. After you put the coupons, probably the price will go a little bit lower, hopefully. But if we come in here on the specs and see 7.6 to 1 gear ratio, spot on. Max drag 4 kilos, good. Weight 150 grams for a DC reel, quite good. 11 plus 1 ball bearings. Winding, it's 66 centimeters, but it has 3 modes. And if we go in here, somewhere in here, I saw that table, probably I should download it. Basically, okay, it's this table. So you have 3 models. This you have the Air, which is a nylon frame. You have the conventional one with faster gearing, which is again a metal frame. It's sort of on the same cast weight of the Purelure Silver Feather Miak. This one intrigued me, the Creek, because it has sort of a shallower spool, and if you come in here, you see that the cast weight, if the cast weight is from 1 to 7 grams. After I've talked with Purelure, they said to me, if you have any of the DC reels that they produce, the difference will be marginal. So I think I will skip this one because the system is the same. The frame should be around the same because it's a metal frame like my Miek, and I was already able to cast 1 gram with a deeper spool. This one will probably be even easier to cast 1 gram than the normal silver feather, but if you don't have one, this one is cheaper and it's even more appropriate for BFS. So my jaw is moving. Moving on to the things. So if you saw my tier list, and thank you a lot because that has a lot of positive feedback on the tier list, I'll probably do, I think the next one, it will be lures or presentations that are my favorite. If you have any ideas, people suggested like budget combos, like favorite combos. I maybe can do one on like price points, that type of stuff. So if you have any suggestion for the tier list, please leave them on the comments or even on the chat. I will take them in consideration when I'm doing future tier lists. I really enjoy that you like the cards format. I think it's better than the website. It's easier to read and to navigate. So starting with spinning reels, the spinning reels that are on my top picks and they are with nice prices. So I Star Verdun, quite a nice reel, especially if you have like lighter Mifine super ultralight rods. This reel, it's quite light, it's very well balanced, it's, from what I hear from other folks, it's properly balanced. It's a little bit tighter in terms of the gearing and the handle than the Scissor Stream, around the same price, 20 euros. I know that you cannot get it on bigger sizes, but this is a super ultralight and ultralight channel. The weight, it's 138 grams, so perfectly to balance with the iStar rod, 20 euros. Again, remember, everything is linked down on the description. I put all my picks and everything that you see are ordered by price, so we'll start from the cheapest to the most expensive. When I get to casting reels and rods will be the same. So moving on to the next one, the Autoton or Taban LS. So this is the lightest reel. So it's the best compromise between price, lightness, and feel that you have on Aliexpress right now. I have one that is 106 grams. It's also the LS, but it's the one with the weird colors. I think you see, probably if you see anything, it's pictures of me catching bass on vacation, or the other day that I caught a chub with a weird spinnerbait invention. This reel, it's pretty solid. It will catch normal size fish without breaking apart. The body, it's quite solid, but it weighs 109 grams. If you are buying like the Mifine Nano Jig, I would not say that the rods with bigger butt sections or longer butt sections, you don't really need this low of a weight, but shorter butts like the Nano Jig really benefit with a very, very light reel, because then it's basically weightless, or you just have a little bit of weight on the tip, which is actually quite nice for ultralight applications, so twitching, that sort of stuff. Lingxi, the Takuma Lingxi, this is the cheapest that I could buy, that I could find, where you have good reviews and you don't have reviews of people saying that the reel was never sent. Again, not official store. There is no official store for Takuma. It's just a store selling toys and fishing gear. 30 euros, you can take 5, it will be 25 euros. Again, this is not the most perfect wheel on the world. Mine, it's impeccable. I've heard people that had problems with a line guide in here, the guide roller, some a play, but again, mine is perfect, so I can only judge from what I have. I really like this wheel. The Caesar Prospect, 34 euros. If you are afraid of risking it with Lingxi, Caesar, the quality control on them, it's quite good, especially with this wheel and this price point. The C2000S is the one that I have. It looks quite cool, I have to say. It's not my cup of tea, the looks of it. I don't like the skeleton carbon handle, neither the red bale wire, but it's a very good reel with a lot of good features. Quite light again, 164 grams, perfectly for any rod like 165, 200 meters. It will pair usually very well. It will not take a lot of line. It will look very good with a red like Zukibo or even Caesar, Braid, top notch. You can even pair it with a red rod, and you will have a banger of the combo. A very good reel. I think if you don't want also fork the money for the Kingdom Tagman, you can also get the Caesar Prospect. Kingdom Tagman, this is the cheapest one that I could find, and hopefully it will get even cheaper. It's 56 euros, hopefully, by my experience. Usually it will go to 49, 48 euros. If again you want the best, under or around 50 euros, this will be under 50 euros after you put the coupons, obviously. But if you don't want to risk it with the Lingxi, again, get this one. I only heard one person complain about this reel. It snapped something on the shaft. I cannot quite remember. I think it was the connection, the male to female connection from the shaft to the spool. Other than that, everyone has been satisfied with it. 143 grams, so perfect for everything if you like light spinning reels. And man, I quite like it. And if you feel yourself fancy, or if casking has like local stores to you, if you are on the States, just get a Castrol. Probably will have it in there. You don't have to get annoyed by the tariffs or your packets getting stopped on customs. Just get a Castrol. They are very good. A lot of bearings. I think the weight is 131 grams, so quite light, lighter than the Tagman. And I think that is it for spinning reels. So moving on to baitcasters. Baitcasters, it's a very good category now. I think it's even better than spinning reels in terms of price per performance. You get the Anatono Silver Winnow, which is so the evolution on so little time. This reel is better than the Cast King Valiant Eagle Black, and the Cast King Valiant Eagle Black on sales was 6 euros. And I remember when it came out, it was a very good reel with just a few caveats, like it was overbraked, the line could go in between the spool and the frame if you have very light braid on it. But solid reel, 27 euros. Before coupons, and again, sale is coming. It can get even cheaper, even if it's just €1. It's a solid reel. You have no problems whatsoever casting 2 grams with it. A lot of nice features. It says it will cast 0.8 grams, but you'll have to use the reel a lot to get the bearings properly sit and take out the excess grease and everything settled in. But I believe you will be able to cast 1.5 grams with it without breaking the rod in frustration with the bird's nest. It will cast it eventually after you give it some outings. 130 grams, so it's light, cheap, very, very good. Yep Fishing also likes it a lot, and in between my comment section on the review of the video of people that got it, his comment section, everyone has enjoyed the reel. I don't know if anyone has any problems with it. 4.9 stars in 39 reviews and 188 sold. It's quite nice, and Anatono, it's not that big of a brand that they would mess up with fake reviews, so pretty solid reel from Anatono, very, very inexpensive. If you fancy something else, again, I like this reel. I like it better than the improved version. This one, I think it looks prettier with the purple knobs. It's a lot cheaper. It will go on 28 euros. It has a deeper spool. So if you value having more line and you want to start with, like, I don't know, 0.8 PE because you have 4 kilos of drag, you can get and use this one. Or if you want to use mono, maybe if you want to use mono on your baitcaster, which I would not advise for a beginner, but if you just want to practice with like 2 euros, a 2 euro spool of mono would be like 200 meters, something like it. So you get like 2 full spools on this reel. It will work very well. The brakes work well. I was able to cast 2 grams with this reel with a Caesar Zero, the rod. I don't recommend to pair the two. Just pair this with a 2 to 8 gram rod and you'll be a happy camper. 28 euros, again, very inexpensive Caesar. Usually the things that they do are very well built and they usually have spare parts, so that's also a plus. And they are cool guys. Again, the improved version, the 119 grams, the spool, you don't get a lot of distance more, so the what you pay more, so almost double the price. I think it's around 50 euros now, and what you get back, it's not as good as this one. Moving on, controversial entry, iStar Aurora Air, a reel with a lot of defects, poorly shim knobs, geariness, weird sounds, but it costs less than 50 euros and it will cast sub 1 grams with ease without you going mental. So if you want to buy it your own risk, because it might be prone to have some manufacturing weirdness, but again, it will work very well. I have it with ceramic bearings. I upgraded and I can cast my snap if I want. So pretty good reel. Again, buyers beware, not for novice, but 4.8 stars on 252 reviews. I think it's like a full circle of complaining, and people complain a lot. This reel for a long time was the best offering that we have, and it was the same price as others that didn't perform as good. Moving on, first metal frame reel, the Kingdom Micro Monster Pro. It will be under 60 euros. Great price for a metal frame reel with a deeper spool. You can get the shallow spool for 10 euros. It will make around 70 euros. So if you want the BFS approach, it will cost you 70 euros. Again, prices before coupons. Very good reel. So if you do bass fishing and you like to use finesse presentations, this will be awesome. I've made a review of this. You have a sort of dial braking system, pretty good. Everything will work well. BFS is small spool. BFS is not really small spool, so if So this is a comment by Sauce the Awesome 9361. This is the Caesar Zero that I already speak of. This is sort of I would not say deep spool, it's a medium spool, and it's able to do like BFS terrain, if you call BFS anything under 5 grams. So it's able to do it. This also, if you look the normal version, it has a medium spool and it's also able to go on the 2 gram territory. But you have the sister reel of this, which is the Purelure Zana. It will be 60 euros, but if they maintain the package that they send with let's go down. So if the package is the same, so everything on the reel it's the same as the Micro Monster Pro. 140 grams of weight, 6 plus 1 ball bearing, 7.6 to 1 gear ratio, 4.5 kilos of drag. But if you get the full package experience, like I did, and people that bought it, you have the FZP spool already on the box. And it will cost the same price as the Micro Monster, so this is better value. Also, this FZP spool will come already with a ceramic bearing on the spool, which it's quite good. I was able to cast 1 gram with this. Again, if you are just interested in throwing lighter weights, don't get this sort of braking system. Just get conventional parallel or internal adaptive magnetic brakes. This one it's better if you just want longer casts. So if you want longer casts in anything over 2 grams, this is very good at when the lure gets on the water on longer casts. You will not have like runnings on the line, birds nets, that sort of stuff. It's easier on longer casts, and like adaptive braking, magnetic braking, and parallel like conventional magnetic braking will be better for shorter casts and lighter cast weights. And then you have the Big Daddy, the other reel that I had on the S tier on casting, the Purelure Elite. If you get the 8.5, which is the one that I have, you can get it on left and right hand. For some reason, the lower gear ratio, it's only on right hand, and the air it's disappeared. So it's not for sale, or it cannot be cheap for me. So it's sold out. Again, very cool reel. It will be able to, it has a shallow spool. It's able to do everything that the air does, that you've seen me do with the air. I did not yet upgrade the bearings on this reel, and I was testing the Mifine microbite casting. And you know where I fish if you see my videos when I'm wading on my like local river, and I was able to cast, I think I had 1.5 gram tungsten weight with a very small 20 centimeter. I think I have it in here. So I was throwing, I don't know if you were able to see, I was throwing this with a straight hook and a 1.5 gram jab, and I was casting from one bank to the other with a Mifine microbite casting and this reel on it. So very good reel. I will upgrade the bearings. I will do a video on it because there are a lot of similar reels with a lot of potential that have the sort of adaptive magnetic braking, and it's quite fiddly to change the bearings on both sides, so the spool and the side plate bearing. And I have already did it on the Silver Feather Air with no problems. And this is basically the same reel, just with a metal frame. Again, I don't know the final price. If it's like with coupons under 100 euros, best reel you can buy for that price. And then you have the MIEC if you just want a solid DC. Probably now, knowing what I know about the discussion that I had with Purelure this morning, I would probably go with Shita Air Creek. It's cheaper and it has the shallower spool, so I would go with that. Save a couple of Coronas and have that shallow spool, save a little bit money online. Moving on to rods, so my top picks of rods, you have the Mavlos Resolute Travel, 22 euros. Again, if you want something cheaper that will be good from, I would say, 1.5 to 5 grams and will perform very well with like hard body lures also, as well as with like jigs. This, I think it's probably the cheapest rod that you can buy with 30-ton carbon on Aliexpress, other than some weird like one-off deals. Travel version, it's a very resistant rod. My kid has fished with it, my dad has fished with it. None of them was able to break. It has a sort of tin tip, so 0.9 millimeters. It doesn't weigh a lot, it's 70 grams. So if you want a cheap combo, like around 50 euros, just get this with either the iStar Verdant spinning reel or the Natono Silver Rhino, and you will get a very efficient BFS and ultralight combo that you can lend to your kids, because the rod is actually quite resistant. Its ergonomics are quite nice, pretty solid rod. Of course, if you want something better and you want a travel rod, just get a microbite. At the price point that it is, it's better than this. But if you want to save that extra bit of money, you can get this, no problems. It will work very well. I've talked to the Danube Predator Challenge 2023-2025 champion, ex-world champion, said for BFS and 1 to 5 gram weight cranks, he changed all the Aldebaran BFS he had for Flight Feather FF0. Again, I'm trying to get this reel, the Flight Feather FF0, but it's hard to find a reliable source on AliExpress. I don't want to go through customs and all that crap. I really want to get one. I will try to get one this sale if I can get like under the 150 euro VAT limit. If I can get it at this price point, I will get one. I'm very curious, even though it's a plastic frame reel. I'm very curious because everyone that has the Silver Feather says that the FF0 it's even better, and the Silver Feather it's already a better reel than the Shimano Curado BFS. And I will probably say the Aldebaran BFS if you don't mess with it. So I'm not surprised that they choose CDM. The Chinese market, at least the manufacturers, are a lot better on niche stuff than the bigger brands. So I can confidently say that I'm yet to test most of the DC systems other than the MIEC. I've had the Curado DC on hand and use it. I bet my ass that in 1 or 2 years, if not yet, right now the DC system on Chinese domestic market reels, it's better than the one from Shimano. It's a lot more people. It's a lot cheaper. The engineering, the prototyping there, it's the value. You have so many CNC machines. You have so many prototyping electronics plants. You have so many like guys doing small batches of stuff that you can like take over a niche so fast like BFS, everything BFS other than some custom JDM rods, it's better on CDM that you can get from like big brands. That is for sure. And with the trend that I've talked a little bit already of the slow oscillating line lay, the Vanford, the Ultegra, and everything over that in Shimano in a couple of years will be eating dust, because as soon they can get the line lay perfect like you get on like the Luvias, the Diluvias, that sort of type of reel, and they make it for 100 euros or 150 euros for a magnesium frame reel. It's kaput, game over. It's over. They just need to start to sell it. Sorry for the bang. They sell it in volume. They provide you with spare parts, and it's gone. You have a bunch of old folks buying Shimano because it's what they use when they are young, and that's it. The best market will be on China. They even just consuming for themselves. It's a huge market. They love to fish, so it makes sense that the pros are getting better and better. A5 Aliexpress 05. Can you look at Solo King over King? Is it good? Let me check it really quickly, because you have to keep in mind I'm on the S of Europe. Sometimes I don't get things. So Mifine Elf, I cannot get it because it's too big of a rod and they don't send it to Portugal right now. Yeah, I will pass this one, sorry, it's too heavy for me. So starting at 7 grams, it's I have no problems saying it's I know who has this rod. If you go and check the Yap Fishing channel, I think he tested this rod with another name, because I think this rod, it's the same than this one, the Complum, or the, yeah, I think it's the same. I think it's the same as the Celius rods. So if you check his video out, it's probably the same, around the same price. Auds, boa noite. Thank you for speaking Portuguese. I'm looking for my first bait cast, and any combo recommendations. I want to be around 2 meter, 5 to 15 gram for 100 euros. For that price point and that cast weight, you can get with coupons the Purelure Stream rod that I find it too heavy for me. It's a very good rod, and usually you can get it for 50, 60 euros. With coupons, it will get down, and you can get either the Caesar, no, sorry, not Caesar, the Kingdom Micro Monster Pro, or either the Purelure Zena, because they are metal frame. So at 15 grams, you really want to start to get metal frames, so you don't get the wobbliness. So that's what I would get. Probably, let me check just really quickly how Caesar Purelure Stream. Let me open this one. Maybe it will trigger the other one to appear below. So for some reason the Purelure Stream is not appearing, at least on the price point that I want. But there's always a but. You can get either the Sharpen, which I think it has the cast weight that you like to have. So 1.2 to 7 grams. No, it's not this one. but I will put this on my cart. So you have the sharpen, I think, yeah, it's in here somewhere. So you have this one, the Purelure Sharpen. Not that I have it, but I know it's a good rod. The travel version 3.5 to 17 grams. It will probably get cheaper than this, and you can get the reels that I already covered, both the Zana and the Kingdom Micro Monster Pro. They are very, very good reels. So that are my tips for Ausens. Just get a solid brand if you are going to that sort of weights. If you are setting hook hards, hard hook set, sorry, not setting hookers hard. That's weird. So Morea 5852. I shop based on your channel. Thank you. Takuma Link She Spinning Reel 1000S plus Mifine Microbite Travel Rod 1.98 millimeter, 1.98 meters, ultralight plus Zukibo Ice Line. What do you think of this combination? I think it's good. You might want to get something lighter reel, but if not, it's an awesome combo. I would, yeah, it's an awesome combo. I would go with that because it's a shallow spool reel with a light rod. The rod it's long enough. Yeah, it sounds awesome. Man, I'm really intrigued because why it's not a stream available for very, very cheap as usual? Because you have a couple of versions of the stream that are quite inexpensive. Maybe tomorrow, check tomorrow again, or make a quick look, or maybe just go in here and look for stream. Jesus, why I cannot search inside of my own channel? It's very annoying. Oh, I can in here, sorry. I don't know if the audio will play, so let me check. Okay, so if you are still there, I'm trying to respond to you, but so I'll just leave the link in here on the chat. So this is the rod. It's 55 euros. It will go to 53 euros. Don't believe the cast weight that is in here. This will cast the weights that you want. And just get one of either the Micro Monster Pro that it's linked on the description, or the Zana. They will work very, very well on this rod with a metal frame. So where was I? I was moving on to rods. So yeah, I was in here, the Resolute. Mifine Microbite. So if you don't know what to get, just get this one. Either casting or spinning. If the price goes even lower than this, it's UKM47 says, I bought a 0 to 3 gram microbite based on your recommendation, going to pair it with either Casting Valet Eagle Pro or the Solo King Acura, upgraded both with ceramic bearings, going for throughout this spring. The Casting Valet Eagle Pro, it's the one that I have with the, Valet Eagle 2 Pro. I think you mean the 2 Pro, because there was some reels on the States that I didn't get on Aliexpress, so I don't know if it's another variant. But I have the Valiant Eagle 2 Pro, and it's an awesome reel. It's sort of, I will put it on pair with Purelure Silver Feather Air. Slightly, okay, so it's awesome. With that one, with the ceramic, I have hybrid ceramics on the Air, and it will cast 1 grams very, very well. And Solo King Acura, the braking will start to crap on you at I would say 1.5 2 grams, even with the upgraded bearings. I put hybrids on mine, and the braking system it's a bit iffy, and I think it now. I know you already have it, but oops, sorry for the bump on the mic. It's too expensive right now, so that's why I didn't recommend it. So Mifine Microbyte, best blank under 100 euros on these sizes. Now with the holotip and the travel versions, you can have all the types of ultralight and super ultralight fishing and light fishing on one family of rods. So awesome. I don't think, look, 40 ton, 46 ton. Man, I really want to buy the travel one on the lower weight classes on casting. But moving on, if you fancy something to fish sub 1 gram, I really grow fond of the Ghost Blade over the Illusion Slash, because the Ghost Blade has the hollow tubular tip, and if you're fishing with sub 1 grams, you're probably fishing with single hooks. The extra fastness that you get on the Ghost Blade. Thoughts on Purelure Sharpen. Jack Doug's 8205. Thoughts on Purelure Sharpen. Need a longer travel rod. Man, I just put one on my card. I don't have it, but everyone says it's good. And it's, again, if there's any brands that I can recommend things without testing them, it's either Purelure or Mifine, because I never had a bad experience with them. No products that were faulty, other than, I think I mentioned the Purelure Silver Feather spinning reel. A member was talking about it, his was a very like geary, and it has a little bit of slop. Mine is just like, you know, when you get a ultralight max sealed reel, mine has that feel. It's a little bit of prison. I think it will go away, but if it doesn't go away, I will update it on the channel, because other than that, the reel actually feels quite premium, but it has to be because it's like 100 euros. Yeah, I was not that fond when, like, the price per performance, but yeah, Sharpen should be a good rod. And that's another thing I put on my card. Man, I will end up the 1111 spending like 600 euros. But moving on with rods. So when I'm going sub 1 gram, I'm going with this rod. Even though it's a tubular tip, it will bend a lot because it's still very thin. So you get probably the best of both worlds. Now when I'm going under 3 grams, if I'm not using like nano crankbaits, like, again, I think I mentioned on the beginning of the video where I didn't have any audio. This is the camera will not focus. This is a Leydun 2-part. It's just arrived today. Also today it arrived the Surunoya Francis Pro spinning reel. It looks quite nice. Man, it will take me a while. I have still some reviews like already filmed, but it will take me a while to do more because the weather is crap. Look, such a small crankbait with a very cool and lengthy lip already with single hooks and a movable part. And I think it's like €3, so pretty awesome. I think I covered this on my last live. So pretty good from Ladle, offering nice things. I think Kingdom has some sort of similar thing, but it's like a wake weight. And I got this crankbait from the guys that make the ball sack soft plastic. Look, it's a crankbait with a cap. Pretty awesome. But you see the depression. You look what I'm getting for winter. Super Continente lightweight 2 centimeter lures for fishing small chub, while I cannot fish for pike and zander. But moving on the rods, because the video is already one hour and something. Mifine Nano Jig, vertical fishing on canals for small perch, chub, roach, whatever you have on Northern Europe. Pretty awesome rod. Let's see how this compares to the attacking. Any recommendations for zander in terms of what? Rods, reels, spots, techniques, plastics? Lures. Okay, with lures, I will go with just conventional, like long soft plastics, like I will not say curly tails, but sort of like long tail soft plastics. Like just get it some sort of fish profile on the bottom with a N6S for saltwater or freshwater. So what you have? I don't know if it has some sort of delay. You have to mention what is for saltwater and freshwater. But with lures for zander, that's what. Not that I'm an expert, but from what I know, you usually beat the bottom this time of the year with fish profiles, very soft lures on very hefty jig heads. Again, nano jig, vertical fishing canals, that sort of stuff. €40 banger overall. I quite like it. I know why in here it says bass, trout, saltwater, freshwater. This is a rod for canals. A rod that came very, very, very late on the summer. And by late in the summer, I mean it's already autumn in Portugal, but it was very, very hot. This is the rod that got me the bass that is on the thumbnail, the one where I had a very, very weird hat on. I think it's the acid hat that I've got. This rod is pretty good. So if you are into like predator fishing, this is a rod that will go from 2 to 8 grams. Under €50 you get the carbon grip. So it's a carbon weave grip. Awesome rod. Quite light, quite beefy. I was able to fish for bass on the grass. Pull them, no problems. A lot of I'd say feel is good, even though I didn't catch any sunfish, but sunfish fishing this year was pretty bad. I have to say, I've tried a bunch of different lures on them, and like last year they were devouring everything, even bass presentations, and this year they just didn't care for anything that I've thrown. Even if I thrown things specifically for them. My son loves sunfish. He says it's fish with the colors of the rainbow, and I caught like 4 or 5. So one day I was trying to catch sunfish where I was fishing with him, and I've caught like 40 basses on like 3 hours on the afternoon and 1 sunfish. So Actually quite hard. They seem to be dying in Portugal. Not a lot of them. At least where I live. So this rod actually quite nice. It feels and looks a lot more expensive than it is. I have the Queen Artist. I fished with it like 1 or 2 times. I don't think the 100, almost 100 euros more that they ask than you pay for this one. It's the other one has better recovery, the Queen Artist, but it's just that it's not like for me. If you say okay, I have the Mifine microbite and but I want to buy the, like, let's say the Purelure Zero, it's an upgrade. You're not getting double the rod, but you're getting a little bit more refinement. Everything feels nicer. From this, which is very similar aesthetically, and the Queen Artist, you're getting like a bit better recovery on the blank. So I will go with this one. So if you're a bass predator, like big perch guy, this is a fun rod, especially on casting. I would say with spinning, I would go with something a little bit more sensitive. Of course, the Purelure Titanium T. I quite like this rod. I'm very eager now. The river is getting higher to go on the small stream and catch some big chub with this rod while I'm testing some spinning reels. Bait casting reels. I like this rod a lot, but it's quite hard to find spots to use them because it's a shorter rod, so casting distance, it will be in there, of course, even though it casts quite well. You will not be able to like yank a fish like a vertical bigger chub from the water, so it's very hard to fish from bridges with it. I might try to go after smaller chub from bridges this year with this rod while experimenting with reels. But other than that, I love this rod. I just wished I had like more sort of canals that are quite high, and I can go with my smaller net and just swoop the fish and use this rod more. I quite love it. And for 70 euros, you get a very exquisite Toraica full blank with the titanium tip. And again, the School Wolf, now at 80 euros. This rod, how can I put it? I quite like the microbite, and the microbite has better materials, but overall build quality and the blend, the way they blend the materials on the blank, it's exceptional. I got my PB with not PB. I got my PB chub with this rod. I got twitch shed with this rod. So this is a quite small rod. I think mine it's a 1.47 meters, so 1.5 meters there about. And I was able to cast 2 or 1.5 gram spoon. I know 2.5 gram spoon on my twitch shed spot. Damn, yeah, UKM47 says, damn, those are some interesting guides. They are carbon fiber guides. I cannot remember the insert, but the insert it's alconite and silicon nitrate. So top spec on the guides. Again, very cool little rod. I wished I got the casting version, but this was a sample sent by Handing, so I could not really choose because I got the rod like just before the launch when I know it was coming out, so I couldn't really choose that much. It was what they have available before the launch. I'd say probably one of the best blanks that I have for like spinning. Very, very diverse. Even though it's a small rod, it can do a lot of things. So if you're on a smaller space, this rod is very, very good. Purelure Zero, for some reason, one of my favorite rods that I used this year. And it's one of the rods that I've tested for longer. So I had this rod for like more than 6 months when I released the video, because I wanted to be very, very sure of what I said about it, and I didn't put it on the tier list. So as I said on the comments, if you watch the tier list, this one is not there. I think the Handing Magic L, it's also not there. BFS, BC rules, maybe you can pick Purelure, DMK, Silver Feather, Ester, or SF. Okay, for saltwater or freshwater. I've used my Miek on saltwater. I've used all the silver feathers that I have, I use them all on saltwater. So I've used the Miek, I used the Silver Feather Elite, and I've used the Silver Feather Air for saltwater. And for freshwater also. Can you pick Purelure DMK? Yeah, I use them for freshwater also. No problems whatsoever with and corrosion also. I didn't have any problem. But what I was saying, okay, this rod, it's better than the microbite, I would say. It's, again, as I said before, it's not double the better, because as the price would suggest, but you can get it slightly longer, so you can get it almost 2.5 meters, so 8'1" rod. I have the 2.28 meters. At the time there was no microbite, and this one is just very good. You get sort of the same amount of guides. The recovery, it's a little bit better than the microbite. Sensitivity, it's slightly better than the microbite. The feel of the rod, the balance of the rod, the components of the rod. So as everything with fishing, as you go up in price, you get smaller and smaller returns. If you have 100 euros to give for a rod and you want the better option, it will be the Purelure Zero. If you have 50, it will be the microbite, but the value, it will not translate. I think I made my point. And if you want something longer to go saltwater fishing, this is even better than the Zero. At least for me, not the smaller versions, but the ones that you can get, like this one. This one, I would say it's slightly better than the Zero, because you have the same sensitivity, you have a little bit more butt for the distance, so you'll get a little bit more distance. The price is about the same. Looks, yeah, I would say are worse. I like mine, but I understand people that don't like it. But it's, how can I say it? This one has a little bit more oomph. So when I'm fishing for saltwater fish like twitch shad, I much rather have this, the Elf Pro, than the Zero. So this is a specific rod. So saltwater, like mackerel, twitch shad, that sort of fish, this rod, you will get less fish going away after the first strike. That's my experience with all these longer rods. And moving on, my favorite rod that I've tested so far, the Purelure Reflex Arc. Looks are a bit weird, but man, the rod is, it's so good. Components, top notch, has full grip like I like it. It has a core grip as I like it. The feel, it's just how I like it. The cast weight, it's where I need it. Everything is so good. It's just perfect. Price point, yeah, it's damn expensive, but it's such a nice rod. So if I would say, even though I use this for Twitch chat, and I tested with Twitch chat, I would say the best use for this rod, it's BFS rod. How about glass hollow? I dabbled with glass rods. If you watch my tier list video on the rods, I have there, I call it the fancy glass rod, maybe Rapala. So, funny enough, in Portugal, I was today on the fishing store. I do videos in Portuguese. I try to source, so I do the reverse of what I do on my English channel. So in here, I always use Aliexpress because, believe it or not, in the small amount of people, so I have about 1,000 people watching in average the videos that I do. And you have people from the Middle East, Asia, Oceania, the Americas, Europe, everyone, a little bit of everyone, anywhere on the world. And I do everything on AliExpress. Everything you can buy there, probably it's available for everyone. Everyone can buy. It's equal for everyone. Prices are usually around the same. Worldwide availability. With my Portuguese channel, I do the exact opposite. People know me because of my English channel, and I try to leverage that as one of the only guys that does super ultralight, and I try to bring things in Portugal. So I've pushed for Ricardo to, which is a European white label brand, bring super ultralight rods. I dabbled with a guy on the store. We are getting some traction in Portugal, but I cannot get, imagine I wanted to get like something as a standard, and I think I will get next year the Legalis. I'm just waiting to see if Daiwa will release a new one. If not, I will get the Legalis to serve as a yardstick, as to say, should I buy a Chinese spinning reel or should I buy just the Legalis, because it's the best value at like 50 euros. And with the Rapala rods and that sort of stuff, I cannot get it in Portugal. And importing them, it's out of question. Even if I can get one through UK, it gets to get through customs, and it's just a mess. So basically, in English channel, I stick to things that I can get on AliExpress, even if they are from Daiwa or Shimano. And locally, I try to buy everything through a store. So right now, I could only get one BFS rod, which is rated from, I think, 2 to 12 grams from Ricardo. Next year, they will be releasing one that is very similar to the Mifine Outrange. So we are getting there. Select already has some super ultralight rods in Portugal. Favorite also. So we're getting some traction, but this is really what I can buy. So even if I go to the store and there is a Rapala retailer, I will not be able to ask for one rod. So I try to do it with Tatula TW80. I try to have like one for sale. So UKM47 says, I have done the same. I have a 500 euro JDM roll. After testing some CDM rolls like the microbyte, I can't justify anymore paying that much just because it's JDM. It's better, yes, but not by that much. Again, I think after 250 euros, you're just better off saving the money and getting like a custom built rod. You get all the technology, you maybe like get one less, 5 grams less, and that's it. But to my point, I cannot get the Tatula TW80 to be sold in Portugal. It's actually quite harder than I thought to get it in Europe, because I wanted to have it on the store as a BFS option. Just get the Gomexos spools and just fit them in there. I tried to get some Major Craft lighter weight casting rods, couldn't get it. I tried to get the Tatula XT BFS rod, couldn't get it. Daiwa, it's, as I've been told, quite hard to deal, at least in Portugal and Spain. A lot of problems, even getting like smaller reels, it's quite hard to get it in Portugal. So that's why I'm having a hard time with like bigger brands. I cannot really get them, and I will not buy a very expensive thing where I cannot get like guarantees or whatever. Because when I'm buying from Purelure, and if I'm paying 150 euros for a reel, I have the connection with them where I can activate the guarantee or have some sort of refund, or just send my reel in and they send me a new one, or just send me the money back. The same thing with other brands, and the value, it's just so much lower. But imagine me buying a 200 euro rod, or a 150 or 200 euro, 250 euro reel from Aliexpress, or from whatever weird website from overseas where I don't have that sort of connection, or from a third-party store on Aliexpress or eBay, and then I just get and say goodbye to my money. And I don't have a lot of them to spare on in fishing gear, even though I get a lot of gear. Yeah, but to the point, diminishing returns, that's what you get with fishing gear. Moving on to accessories. So this one will be just a quick through. Booms has a lot of nice stuff. For some reason, I think something is missing, but basically I have in here, let's see. Again, you can, I just put the link on the description, but even though it's affiliate link and I would get some cashback, just don't get it. You can go down here and you'll find cheaper options. See, this one, they are the not. Yeah, they are the same stuff, but just cheaper on bundle deals. But either way, I think it's something that I didn't think I needed or I wanted, but as soon as I got this sort of aluminum pliers, they are so nice. Firstly, if they fall off the pouch because you didn't put them correctly, they are lighter, and even if they fall on the lanyard, like I have a fanny pack on my waist, even if they fall and they're on the lanyard and I'm walking, if they hit my legs, it's just annoying. It doesn't hurt. If it's like a full, like €2 metal plier, it will annoy you and hurt you. Second thing, the grip, it's actually quite good. It's better than plastic. It will not fall from your hands. Third thing is that the plier part, it's actually quite good. I can take split rings with it, even the small ones that I use. I can hold stuff, I can crimple stuff, and the cutters are actually quite nice. So if you get the cheap ones, sometimes you're cutting braid and you put the braid in and they just do this and don't cut the braid, just fray it. Very annoying. With this, they will always cut it. And even if you need, you can readjust the cutters because they are screw-in. And I think you can even get replacements, not that I messed with it. Quite nice. I quite like it. I quite like booms. You can check the store. They have everything that you need for accessories. That's where I usually buy mine. So when it's something cheap and I get a brand that it just works, I just buy from them. Look, scissors, €4. These are the same exact scissors that you can get from casting for a lot more money. Pike fishing, I tend to do that on the winter, and I will be doing that on this year. You can get this sort of hook remover, which are quite nice because you don't have the opening of the forceps, so can go in even on smaller mouths if they engulf the lure. Fish grippers, again, pike fishermen, you have the crimping pliers, you have small line cutters. See what I was showing, it's this one. So this thing is actually quite good. It's a silicone box with an entry. You know, when you take a bit of line and you put it on the pocket, and every time you put your hand on the pocket, your knuckles will take the line with it. You just do this on this small silicone bin and all the line will go there, and it's top notch. I would say it's a game changer. I don't use that word a lot on the channel, but this for like trash storage, so you don't have any line left behind you, it's quite good. And they have sort of a lot of other things. Folding, PVC nets, a lot of stuff. Lanyards from them. I think not here, but they have on like bundle deals. You can get 3 really nice lanyards, retractable lanyards for like €4, and they work very good. They are not the ones that the first time you let it go, they will fall apart. They have belts, they have everything. You see the scale that I have is this one. Sometimes you can get them in combo very, very cheap. USB-C powers, just works very well. The gloves are also very good. Again, as I said on the beginning of the video, I like my gloves with patches, because even I would prefer to get spiked by a fish than always have a full surface on the glove, where as soon as it gets filled with slime, the fish will just slipper. So they have a lot of stuff. Feel free to check the store because it's actually quite nice for accessories, and again, quite cheap and good quality. For some reason I put 2 times the link for the pliers. So, and as you see, they even have a kit. So you have a gripper, some scissors, a plier. This would be sort for bass fishing, so that sort of stuff. And you get a mat for €22. So you see the value on the Booms Fishing store. Another thing I want to cover very quickly, it's like bags. So I have a lot of bags because I do like different types of fishing, and sometimes in the morning I just feel like, screw it, I go for bass on the lake. So I just grab that bag, or I'll go for chub, and for chub, if I'm waiting, I have to have a different bag. So I tend to go through a lot of bags. I wrecked the one that I had from iStar, but again, I had a lot of crap in it. So this one is actually quite good if you're fishing, again, very sort of fast fishing, where you're swapping things, getting your plier very, very frequently. You're catching a lot of fish. This is actually quite good. You can fit everything in here for a super ultralight session, no problems. You can fit small boxes with all sort of terminal, and you can fit a bunch of this sort of small plastic bags from Supercontinente in here. So quite good. €18. The canvas, the material is actually quite good. I have a waterproof one. The waterproofing on the zippers, it's getting a little bit torn, but I have to say it's actually quite nice. For some reason I cannot find it on Aliexpress, the exact model that I have, but it has one thing better than this one. It will always keep its form, so it's actually easier to navigate inside of the bag. This one is actually also quite nice, €18. It's probably getting cheaper. It's from Next Angler store. Next Angler is a guy that came from handing. So quality material, I have it. It has waterproof zippers in it. It's sort of water resistant or waterproof, so you can be on the rain with it. It will take a lot of stuff. The format, it's actually quite good because you don't have any hard corners. So everything will lay around sort of in place, but if for some reason you are against something, it will not annoy you to that with the corners. And you can fit a lot of stuff in here. And it's breathable. You even have like a sort of strap where how can I explain? So if you have a crossbody, like I quite like it because you can just do this and have the bag in front of you and take stuff out. It's very annoying when you're going like to pick something from the ground and you bend over and you don't have this sort of lanyard and the backpack just do this and falls on your face or just falls on the ground, usually when it's open. So this lanyard, it's actually quite good, and if you're trekking for your fishing spot, it's also quite nice to have. And this one, so I have this backpack. I know it's a bit expensive, 23 euros. The color that they have, it's not the greatest, it's orange, but this has a very good feature. It's a hard body bag, so it has this pouch. It has pouches on the front. It has a lot of spots to have stuff hanging, like you see in here. You have a pouch on the front. I love this to put my filming gear. So I have my extra batteries in here. So inside of the zipper, I can even fit, I have my tripod in here. And I have all my extra lures and terminal and line in here on the like on the sort of hard part or the hard shell of the backpack. Why? Because when I flip it, my fanny pack that is with my used stuff still fits on my waist, and this will stay on the top like a nice platform where I can like change line on a reel if I for some reason break my leader. This is actually very good, and you even have a net which is exactly where I have my line box. I have a scissor, just dedicated scissors in here, and I have my leader line. Very, very good. And I have all my filming extra batteries and stuff in here. Magic Eraser 9. Have you seen the fish pond waterproof wading bag clone on Ali? You're meaning like a backpack where you twist the top to make it like waterproof? If it's that, I've seen it in Aliexpress and Timo a lot. I don't go on the water with... Every time I go on the water, I will have... Oh, it has a full zipper. It's the one from Kingdom, where Kingdom has like three sort of a crossbody, a backpack, and a fanny pack that they are all waterproof. If it's that, I've also seen it. So when I'm going inside of the water where I know that I will not have a footing, if I have a footing, I will just have something. I have my fanny pack across my chest. If not, I will just put everything on the bag that comes with my supboard, and that's it. Mihai 86. I had a second Valiant Eagle casting reel for 50 euros. I love it for those 3 gram G heads. I can go till 2.5 grams with it. Again, Cast King has come a long way. They are a solid brand. Like something that I can say it's quite good with my eyes closed. Purelure, Mifine, Cast King. Even though I don't use a lot of stuff from them, Nuebi. If you are like on heavier stuff, I've seen the factories. It's a shame that they don't do that sort of light stuff, because they've sent me videos of the factories and they do pretty good stuff for salt water, I have to say. And they have a lot of machining in there for CNCing bodies of reels with aluminium. Quite nice, but they are getting there. They are getting on quality. And last backpack, the usual suspect. If I don't know what I'm doing, I put everything in here and I'll just go fishing. When I'm using crankbaits and jerkbaits, and usually hard bodies, that's what I take, because you can fit 3 trays in here, and you have all this extra space for all the other things. So if I'm going a day out, which is not that often, I never do long fishing sessions, I'm taking this backpack. And Bastash is a good brand. They also sell gloves, caps, sunproof clothing. All of them that I had from Bastash, they're quite nice. Braid, I just put it in here, even though it's inexpensive, just because you can get 1 kilometer of it. Waterproof one backpack can you recommend? The only I was mentioning, only again from Mifine 86. The only thing, man, I have to have something, so every time you make a question, it will appear on the. I have to configure my OBS or Stream Element, so all the questions will come up on the screen. But I have one waterproof fanny pack, and again, if I need to use something waterproof, I will just use the waterproof bag that it came with support. The fanny pack works quite nice. I have it on the water, and I will not say it's 100% waterproof, but it's very, very water resistant. It will survive a dunk. That I can say. So I would take advantage of this sale to get a bunch of Braid. Again, I would try to go with the Handing Blast, the almost 500 meter spool. It's a very nice Braid, but I cannot find it. I try to find it, the Handing. Let's see if they, for some reason, just updated the stock. So you have it in here in bundle deals, but it's just a 10-pound version and nowhere to be found. So it's a shame, because I quite like it. Fortunately enough, I ordered a bunch of them just before they disappeared from Aliexpress. And you can get, like I did last time, I got with the coupons, I got a 500 meter spool. Yeah, a 500 meter spool of the LSP Thunderstorm. Let me check something. Yeah, you can get it. This is the best Braid that I've tested so far, and I had a spool of Varivas over there. It's the best Braid that I've tested so far. So, and this is the cheapest I could find. So if you just want to have something to fill up, and you have a lot of especially BFS reels, you can get one. It will fill one. 150 meters will get you 2 BFS reels if you put 70 in each, 75. Again, 300 meters, it will give you like 4 BFS reels. Just keep in mind that this line is very, very good. It's worth the price. And now it's the things that I'm buying. So the moment you've been waiting for, everything that I'm getting, and I'll probably get more, but this is the things that I really want to get. So hopefully you will not see this, because I don't. They have a lot of stock. They have almost 900. What about the diameter? They respect it. I never bought Braid from Ali. no one respects the braid diameter. There's a channel on YouTube. Let me see if I can find for you. Line Lab. The Line Laboratory. They will do a lot of comparisons, so even big brands do not respect the diameter. You will see Zukibo lines in here. So the problem with it is that it's people that send samples, and we don't have a lot of samples for thinner braids, but that's why I stick with Zukibo, and because I was having a lot of inconsistency on between spools. But yes, the Thunderstorm, it's quite thin for a 0.6 PE, and also the ending blast that I mentioned, it was very, very thin, and they respected the diameter. But again, it's nowhere to be found. But you can check I'm subscribed to this guy, so it's they don't. I will even put the link in here. So if you want, just check usually the stuff, and also how some major brands are just plain crap on some of the labels that they have for braid. It's very, very cool. They do a lot of tests. And they have, yeah, I think I'm not a great person. I just have don't have a lot to do with my spare time. Where I was at, tungsten. So tungsten, it's, I would say again, game changer, because you can make your presentation very, very small, a lot smaller than you would do with lead. You get more sensitivity with the bottom composition because it's a harder metal. So if you're using a bait caster on BFS and you want to use smaller presentations, it's almost a must. And if you don't lose a lot of stuff, which you will not use because I tend to use a lot of EWG hooks. I usually only use open hooks when I'm wading and I'm just going for smaller fish. But if you use this with a size 10 EWG hook, that, even though I don't have it linked, I have it in here. It's, as you can see, very, very small, very, very thin. It will last you a big fish. If you get a big fish, just take it out like a 800 gram bass. Just if you see any bend on the hook, just take it out for the sake of it, because the second one will just go away. But until then, you will catch a bunch of fish with the hook. They are very, very thin. They are very easy to penetrate. Top notch. Pair it with anything from 2 grams and down, and it's a great option for making your presentation smaller without losing that weight for helping you cast further. So tungsten, it's a must for me. Even though I like budget stuff, as soon as I swap for tungsten, I never bought any other lead shabs. I have some shabs that are 3.5 grams that I use it for puncture on the grass when I'm fishing with cross. But I just use them because they have, instead they are not round, they have a longer profile. They are easier to navigate through the grass. That's the only ones that I'm using with lead, because I don't like to use bullet weights. That's it. If I use bullet weights, I just stick with tungsten for everything. I'm also getting these guys. So Rokoyoko. No, YouTube did not define me. I did a post yesterday with even the hours in Brazil, so, or at least in the Americas, I guess. So I'm just on the end, but you can see it from the beginning. Just keep in mind that the first 24 hours, you'll have 5 minutes of me with no audio for some reason. And today the audio, it's a little bit worse, so every time I touch the mic, you'll have a boom. So that's it. So I'm getting this glide braid. It looks awesome. It's €6 for a two joints, 70mm 4.5 grams. And it looks quite cool. I like it. It's actually pretty good. Colors, I don't know. Probably get this one. I quite like the sexy ghost minnow vibe. And let's see how it is. I don't know if there's any pictures from people. Oh, very useful picture. So, and comment also, very useful review. But either way, I'm getting one of these guideposts. It's this store is actually quite nice. It's a very, very good store. They have very good things in it. The Fishing On store. So if you open, they will have nice things. They even have things from the MK. See, LSP, the same guys that make the braid, they make very good spoons. The ball tail shad, so the 2cm one, this one, or the bigger version, yeah, it's pretty good. In the winter it will start to be even more. Yeah, you see that this store, they sell the Iborizer, they sell, I think it's the cheapest spot where you can get the Shimano Curado BFS. They have the Vanford. They have a lot of stuff. They have Sunline. They even have the Lynxie look. They have tungsten sinkers. It's actually probably one of the best fishing stores on. If you want good jig heads, Lureholic has some nice ones. Yeah, I've covered Lureholic a lot on the summer. I did not lately because they are always out of stock on most of the things that it's very, very hard, especially when I do the videos just before the show day. All the stock gone. But this store, it's like pig store. Vibrating jigs, small ones, I have covered this on the channel. These ones are from Cast and Catch, are very, very good. They work very well. Man, they have a lot of stuff. Look, Fuego from the 2025 model. Again, you see €87. It's the cheapest. The finesse frogs that look sexy AF. They have such nice stuff in this store. They have the LSP line, the Revros, the lure fans. This one will work very well. I used poop baits this year. I had a lot of success with them for bass, especially weightless. Dancing potato lures, weighted wacky hooks. Man, they have it all. So TSP, LSP lines. Just take a look on this store. I will maybe, let me see if I can. Look, what can I send you to check the store? Jesus, so much publicity. So if you are curious about this is something that is actually quite hard to find. The weird thing is that okay, it's these ones. These ones are very hard to find, the 3.5 grams, and they will come 2 per pack. Where is it? So these are the ones that I have. So I'll just put a link on the chat. If you want small chatterbaits, these ones are actually quite good, and they have a very, very startup speed, so they will start to vibe on a slow retrieve. I've bought the Count Bass 3.7 and 3.8 centimeter cranks, like chubby copy. Count Bass, what is the other my favorite store? I think I have it in here. I have some things on my cart that I did not post, but man, I cannot remember the Best Legend. Best Legend has awesome cranks. Letoyo, now Leidun and Kingdom also have nice Istolur also have nice cranks and very, very cheap. I think they sell Jackal copies for less than €3 and they swim very well. So that's something that I will bring up on the winter. But again, I just posted the link of these guys. They are very hard to find, and the hook is actually quite small, because sometimes you have 3.5 gram versions, but they have a huge hook on the back. This will work quite well with something without a tail. So you have some shad or even a craw. A craw, how can I put it? A craw that just has appendices, so it doesn't have swimmy bits. So like a dollif craw will work well on this, and a tailless or a fork tail shad. But moving on things that I'm getting the Cast King Royal Megatron Spinning Fishing Reel 5+1 ball bearings Precision Line Lay Lure Freshwater Fishing Reel Long Cast Bass. Why? Again, as I mentioned on the beginning of the video, my next few spinning reels will all be about the way they get the line. So as I said, the only advantage that you have now with I would say starting with this year Nasi, the new one, the Ultegra, the Vanford, the Stradic, is that you get perfect line lay. With Daiwa, you sort of get it starting with the Luvias family. Not that the Legales has bad line lay, but like perfect spot on line lay, tight line lay, which is very important for thinner braid. I'm getting this sucker just because of it. Again, not that heavy of a reel, 172 grams is right there for light fishing. Rest of the stats, not that impressive. I might get the 2000, I'm not sure. But either way, I'm getting either one of them. True, I have the Daiwa, so Mihai 86. True, I have the Daiwa Alexa LT, and for €180 it's not perfect. Yeah, I've watched a lot of iFish videos because, again, as I said, I think I post this voting for on members only, if I should get a yardstick like thing. And my idea was, on the beginning, start with like the €50 price mark. So I would get the Legales, which I think it's, and most people will think it's the best reel on that price point. And I was also looking on the, like, what is next? Should I, like the opposite? Let's say I get, imagine that the iStar M9, the reel that I showed on the beginning of the stream, aluminum frame reel, which also they claim that they have like low oscillation, so better line lay. Let's imagine that this reel costs, I don't know, €85. And my idea was at some point next year or the next, get like a Vanford, which is sort of my wheelhouse, not the Stradic because it's too heavy, or the Luvias. But whatever, it's the consensus, like through a voting on YouTube, like the consensus best reel. And then we have, is it worth it to spend the same price to get something that's similar to the Legales when you can get a Daiwa reel or a Shimano? If Shimano some point refreshes the crap that they have now under the NASI. I think you get my point. So, is it better at 50 euros than the sort of ballpark that you get with the Daiwa Legalis? If not, maybe it's not worth it to buy from Aliexpress. And then at some point, again, get the opposite. So if I get the 85 euro reel, again, I'm not saying it will be the iStar because they mess up a lot, especially on the finishing details. But if it's like 85 euros and you get 90% of what you get from, let's say for the sake of it, the Vanford, which probably would be the better reel on that price point, a little better than the. I don't know. I had mixed opinions from people that had both the Vanford and the Luvius, but any one of them, they will cost around 220, 250 euros, sort of there. If I get one, and then I compare it with all, so you have a yardstick for every price. So under 50 euros, if I'm buying like the Kingdom Tagman, should I buy the Kingdom Tagman for 50 euros when I can get the Legalis and they are the same? Is it worth it? That makes a lot of sense for me now. My problem with it is getting a rod that is available worldwide and it's like 50 euros. That's the only hard part. Bait casting reel, it's not even worth it to buy it because at 50 euros you get jack crap from Daiwa and Shimano. You get the PR or the Bass X from Daiwa, and you get I don't even know what from Shimano. But again, you can get a casting rod from 50 euros, I think. I even can up that. So I have the Daiwa Tula 80 TW, and I could use that as a yardstick. And again, as you see, Daiwa would lose every time because at BFS Chinese, CDM, it's a lot more value for money. But you get my point. So this next upcoming for 50 euros, I will go with Mifine. But you understand my point. I want to have something as a comparison. So if I'm comparing Chinese with Chinese, everything could be crap. And I'm comparing crap with crap. If I get the yardstick like I get, the Shimano, whatever rod. Rokoyoko says, in Brazil, the people use Shimano FX since it's affordable. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. Again, if you said to me before I've tried the Tsurunoya Metis, if the Shimano FX, it was worth it, I would say maybe because in Portugal it costs 19 euros. In America, I've seen it for I don't know how is the VAT or the taxes on things, but I've seen it for $15, $16. At that price point, I understand why people would go with the Shimano. I just don't understand when you buy the crap that is the Sedona, Shimano Zodiac, Poison Adrena. Probably probably that would be the yardstick for like 50 and 200 euro rods, something like that. That's something that I would like to do on the future. But I understand why people will go with the Shimano FX. But now with the Metis, I own a few of these casting motor. These are different. This is the Royal Megatron. It's 172 grams. I did my last year Christmas in Porto. Good food, good wine, and very nice people. Man, I'm 40 kilometers from Porto. So you've seen me. No, you've not seen me fish in Porto because every time I go, I'm not a good guy to fish in the river that ends in Porto. But I fished I fish when you see me going, when you saw me catching sea bass, I was very near Porto. I probably will go there this year to catch zander, and it will be very near the Porto. So I'm 40 kilometers inside, so from the coast inwards from Porto. So I know the people, and I work halfway there. So from where I live to Porto, I do almost 20 something kilometers on the direction of Porto. What can you fish in Porto? Sounds a good place to shore fishing. Bass. I don't know if Twitch had entered there that much, but basically it's sea bass and all the relatives plus mullet. If I would go there on the saltwater part, would be for shore fishing would be sea bass, and they have something I don't even know the name in English, which is baila. It's something that I think it's on the family of the sea bass, but you cannot even take it home. So it's like a forbidden species. Freshwater, I bet there's a lot of zander and catfish like there's in Spain. Yes, a friend of mine just sent me a picture, but it was in Alentejo. It was holding a catfish. I think he's almost the same height as I am, and he was holding like this on the shoulder against him, and the tail was already curled on the ground. So we are getting Indoro, zander, like upwards on Douro, and you need a permit. I have all the permits, so I can fish anywhere in Portugal. Freshwater, I can fish anywhere in Portugal. Saltwater, and I can fish on the province that it's just above us on saltwater in Spain. So if I go to Galiza, and I think I don't know if I put the footage, but I've tried to catch squid in Spain with Purelure medium light telescopic rod. In France, you need only a permit for freshwater. Not anymore, because European Union is passing a law that you will have to log all your saltwater catches, so you probably need a permit attached to that, even though if it's like free. In Portugal, we didn't have to have one until, I would say, 10 years ago. I don't eat fish. My question is not that. It's I never take fish home. Even though I quite like fish, I like a lot of sea bass, but I prefer to have like a good, at least if the population is low. You have to log it even if you don't keep it. Yes, you have to log everything. Every fish you catch, you have to log it. And of course, it would be very dumb to take a picture of an undersized sea bass full of blood and already whacked on the head to take home. I understand what they are doing. I don't understand why they are going after the small guy first. That I cannot comprehend. Instead of having us logging in all our catches, it would be a lot easier. Nobody will do it. Firstly, the worst offenders are, I think by now on the stream I can do it, old farts. That will take everything home. So I was testing, I think, the Kuying Super Lit on the sea. And I chose a very, very bad day to go there. I just got the rod like on a Friday, and I went there Saturday morning. I didn't even watch for the tides. So I think I was with other guys, no one catch anything. And was a guy, because we could catch smaller sea bass, but we don't really target it. In Eastern Europe, we have it for the past 3 years, and every year they say that they had 0 catches because they are lazy to log. Man, I think it's stupid because I don't know. Portugal, it's a very bad in terms of quantity and accessibility place to shore fish. And when you see a guy with a big sea bass, like a, I don't know, 45 centimeter plus, they are fishing on rocks. Imagine staying on rocks with neoprene suit until here and probably over your head with glasses on, and grabbing your 55 centimeter bass and trying to take a picture of it, getting blasted by waves. It's not feasible. And you have even worse. In Portugal, we have guys that I would not say bungee jump themselves, but basically they do reverse. I'm missing the word. So you see the guys that are washing the glasses on tall buildings. They will just do the same. They will down themselves with ropes, and they will fish from ledges on the sea. Sometimes they die. They fall and they die, and that's very annoying for the firefighters and the navy that has to go there to recover the body. How those guys will take pictures of and log the fish, and I log all the fishes that I've catch, but I don't log them on the water. I just have the camera with me. If I'm not fishing with a camera, of course I will pick up my phone and just take a few pictures, but I will not record it on the spot. I will just go home, and when I'm home I just upload the pictures for the software that I've used, and I record everything. But it's just a bunch of nonsense. Just put some authority doing the proper work that is going there, seeing what people have on the bag. Have no mercy. If it's an old fart with I will not say small pension because the guy maybe needs to feed himself, but if just old fart, very okay, you log it with pen and paper. So I think they do the same in Germany. I'm not sure, but either way, what I was telling you, like, you probably will not relate to this. So where I live, it's like a valley. That's why we have the river there. It's a valley, and it gets very humid on the winter. So right now I have a forecast of, I don't know, 7 days of rain. And the first day that will not rain, all the old farts will pile up all the rubbish. And I mean, not rubbish, things that you can compose or recycle and burn it. There are not a lot of people doing that, but usually are old farts. And you call the police on them because since it's a valley and it's too humid, all the smell of green bushes getting burned, and sometimes even plastic and paper, all that smell will get permeated all over the valley. So if we have clothes drying, if you're on the street, it will just smell like, or it smell of smoke. You call the police and they will say, okay, I'll go there. They go there, the old lady will just cry and cry and cry, and they will never get a fine. Man, I don't care if they have to pay the fine. I'm not here to be horrible to people that don't have money, but at least fine them. Just even if they had to pay in 100 parcels, people have to suffer the consequences. And the same applies to fishing. If you are fishing for trout before the season and keeping them, if you're keeping fish beneath the limit, if you're not fishing as you're supposed to in Portugal, you can only have like 2 rods, you have to be fined. That's simple as it is. And has to have people looking for it. If not, it will be the same thing in here. So I have trout in this river. You know what happens? The 100 or 200 trout that pass by there are folks with like jerkbaits with huge trebles just trying to snag not bass, trout this size. So what do they deserve? Get a fine. Probably be like you are not able to drive if you are drunk driving, be forbidden to take the fishing license for 5 years. And every time they get caught without a license, get more fines. That sort of stuff. But it will never happen. Man, I'm fishing with, like, I don't know if it's because I have a camera, but I have police, like the guys, we have like a city police and like outside of city police. Those guys, the outside, like the guards, the national guards, they are the guys that are responsible, or they have the environment department. They pass through me, they never ask me for the license. So I don't know. But moving on, I'm getting this Cast King Royal Megatron because, again, as I mentioned, the line lay, and it's because it's very inexpensive. So let me just refresh. So still $29.77. I'm getting this sucker. I'm also probably getting the Valiant Eagle too. It's a very, very similar system to the Castrol. I have to see how similar it is. I think it's because of that. I really, it's wishful thinking because I think they are not seeing the license for anyone. So Rokoyoko have both the Valiant Eagle and the Castrol. What do you think about the Valiant Eagle in comparison with the Castrol, with the price difference, which is just around the half price point? I just sent a comment, but realized you're live, so I guess it's useless. I wanted to ask you if you heard or used the DMK Cheetah. You can get the DMK Cheetah. I don't know which version it is in particular, because there are sort of different versions. But I was talking today earlier with Purelure, and the 3 cheetahs that I've shown on the live, so the Cheetah Air, the Cheetah Air Creek, and the Cheetah DC, they are all very similar. The only difference right now is that the Cheetah Air Creek, other than have the metal body, it has like a shallower spool. So DMK is just a manufacturer that does things for Purelure. Rokoyoko says, to be honest, I cannot say the difference. I think the V is the same. So if this is the same, it's better. I was thinking of the DC version and comparing it with the Miak. Again, I was talking with Purelure earlier this day, and basically they said to me that the difference, it's from the Cheetah versions with the DC brakes and the Miak, it's marginal. The electronics will work the same. Again, the only difference than now, I don't know if it's available outside of Purelure directly from the MK from third parties. The Cheetah Air Creek has a shallower spool. So Rokoyoko says there is not a lot of difference or none from the other than a little bit of weight from the Black Valiant Eagle 2 and the Castrol. So I'm getting these ones just for comparison's sake. I think I have to make some accounting by then. Oh, okay, thank you. That's perfect. I prefer the aesthetics of the sheet. I think both look nice. Just make double sure when you're buying that if the price difference is not that much, try to go with either directly from Purelure. If the price is very similar, fishing on store, which I showed just before. I think I even put a link somewhere on the chat for Chatterbait there, because they are very, very reliable. If you buy from a shop that just says shop 1,300,000 blah, 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 and just numbers, you might get it. They might delay, and just reimburse you. Just send you the money back. Shops that sell toys and like very, very FOMO, let's call it that stuff, they sometimes will not deliver. So all my Takuma reels were bought through that sort of stores, and I had like half of them sending the money back and didn't sending the goods, and I had to bought it from another guy. Like the P7 Air, I ordered 3 times, I only got it on the 3rd time. The P11, same thing. I think the Takuma Arrow, the same thing, because they don't have an official distributor. If it's like €5 difference, get it from either Purelure or Fishing On Store. They are very reputable, very, very good stores. If it's very, very cheap, risk it on the no-name store, because the worst thing that can happen to you is that they send you the money back. So I think I'm getting this one because I want to test if it's cheaper than the Castrol, then it can move on the S tier, maybe, because the Castrol is actually very, very good. Also, just another question. I'll be getting the Takuma Lingshi, but I need a travel rod that fits with it max 8 grams or so. What would you say it's the best ultralight travel rod available? Down in the description of this live, there's a link that says new stuff, or under the new stuff. So the first link that says Mifine Travel Microbyte, or Mifine Microbyte Travel. Open it and just get one. It's probably the best blank that you can get for under €100, and it will cost you under €40, I think, just before coupons. Yeah, always just order from Purelure or a portable store anyway. I'm not saying that you will have problems. I'm just saying that they might not send you the goods and send you the money back. So if you are counting on coupons, it will be annoying. So you might miss the coupons because of that. It happened to me before, and it was worse because it was from an official store. It's still 10-11 here. In here it's 11-11, but for some reason in Portugal all the promos start on 8 in the morning, so 8 a.m. Probably the kangaroos already can buy the things for cheaper. Moving on things that I can't find a 2-piece microbyte casting version that delivered to the US. I've seen that one. It looks amazing. Sadly, it's 56 centimeters, so I need something under 50 centimeters to fit on my backpack. I don't know if the Purelure Zero, let me check. Purelure Zero. I don't know if they have the closed weight in here. Very annoying that I don't have the closed weight, because in France it started at midnight. So you French guys are taking all the. Is the Creek Dance still good? It's still awesome. I think it was there. I think I missed it, maybe. Because if I remember correctly, they had a separate like image for the travel version. At least a 5-parter. So okay, shrinkage. So you are right. So you can get the Purelure Silver Feather, Purelure 0. Yeah, and it's like a very lengthy rod, 7'2", so 2.18 meters, 7'6", 2.27 meters. So for the Magnus JV, it's Creek Dance still good. It's pretty awesome rod. It's very, 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 very good rod still. Again, for creek fishing is great. I really want to try the Trota, but I want to catch it at 50 something euros, because someone said to me that is actually quite nice, but I want it in casting. So I'm waiting to see if it appears at a very, very good price to get one, because I'm really curious about the Trota. So to Magnus JV, you can get the Purelure 0. I don't know if you want to shed that much money. Let's see the Purelure. I saw a sharpen, but I'm not sure. So this is 1.2 to 7 grams. This is a bit weird, because Purelure open a local store in Brazil. Love them. They have one in Paris, in Europe, which is great. Mifine has one in Poland, which is also nice. Guys, I want to thank you. I go to sleep. My wife will kill me if I not. That's why today I bought chocolate so I can do the live. My wife ate chocolates, went to sleep, and now everything is good. I already took a shower, so I can just slick myself into the bed without anyone waking up, and everything will be fine. Again, it's already 2 hours and 30 minutes of this stream. But it's very weird that they have a casting version in here that is lighter than the spinning. But again, it's the 0. I don't know. What was the other one that... it's the Marvelous Resolute. What is the shrinkage? .48 centimeters. So if you want something very, very affordable, you have the Resolute. If you want something that is very good and it will fit on your size conundrum of 50 centimeters, you can get the Resolute. And if you're traveling to something where you will dispatch your bag, it's 25 euros, so you'll not feel that bad when the guy just does this with your bag. Where was that? Oops. So I was in here. I will try to get the Cast King Black Valiant Eagle. I will try to source because usually Cast King has very nice coupons, but I didn't find any coupon. So I'll try to source some coupons. The only one that I found was the one from Purelure. I will try to get also this one. A lot of people mention it. It's a metal frame. It's under 50 euros. Actually, under 45 euros. It has ceramic bearings. It has a medium-sized spool. It doesn't weigh a lot, 145 gram. 11 plus 1 ball bearings. Sounds good to me. Nice gear ratio. Drag is a little bit up, but it might be good for bigger predators. Might get it. This one I'm waiting because I want a bigger version and it will be available on the Polish. This looks like a cheaper Micro Monster Pro, but it has one better thing that the Micro Monster has. But it also has the caveat of the deeper spool. The braking system is a conventional braking system, which might mean you'll be able to cast lighter lures with a closer. And it has the magnetic bearings. So my only caveat it's this, the deeper spool. Other than that, it seems quite nice. Again, might get it. I want to go after pike and zander, and this might be able to fit in the wheel. Let's see. It's on the cart to come. I will probably post a print of what I've actually got. Next, it's the Microbite aging with a hollow tip. This one, I had all the links prepared for the video. I also had in here the other rod that I already got. The Mifine Microbite hollow tip. I will be waiting for this to come out on the Polish warehouse. So the price should come down by, I would say, 15-20 euros. I want the biggest version. I might get, depending on how the money flows on the sale and how much I can match the coupons, but I really want to get the biggest version, and I might get the casting like 180, 198 casting version of the Microbite, the travel version. So, but this one I want the biggest to do some proper aging. So I will wait on this one. They said around 10 days. So, and I cannot really fish that much on this weather. It's just plain crap. So I'll be getting this one maybe on Black Friday around that time when it arrives on the Polish warehouse. This one I'm just biting the bullet and getting it. The Mifine attacking is on a card. It's coming. I pay what I have to pay because I want to do a review very shortly, and they say that this will probably, depending on how the sales go on Europe, which I think will be the biggest market for this rod, it will take around 2 months, so they have enough stock to move a bunch of it for the Polish warehouse. I'm getting this reel. It's a spinning reel. This one I'm really getting. No second thoughts on this one, the 1500 version. This, even though it doesn't have any price, 170 grams, micro lure, blah, 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 4 kilos of drag. But most importantly, it has something that I've seen on autotone reels. They will have this to try to prevent the line to come under the spool and tangle around the main shaft. And again, as you see, this will be a trend with spinning reels, and as soon as Chinese pass through this last barrier, which is proper line lay, it's bye-bye. It's Shimano can suck lemons on the very expensive reels. So again, with the Royal Megatron, with iStar M9 that I showed the teaser pictures that should be around the corner to be released. Dense and fine line increase the storage capacity of the fishing line, reduce the friction between lines, and improve the throwing performance. So better casting distance with thinner braid, less wind knots. That's a win for me, and it looks cool with that perfect line lay. As you can see, this is very, very annoying when it happens, but it will happen. And this looks just good, so I'm getting this one, even though Linu is one of that brands that I have mixed feelings, but I am willing to risk this one on the King Snake. Purelure Aquaviolet Spinning. So this model in particular, not this one, sorry, this one. 71 euros. Again, I might not get this one on the 1111. I might postpone it depending on how the money gets out, how fast the money gets out of the banking account with this sale. But titanium frame guides, the Torzite rings inserts, and 36-ton Toraica blank. For 71 euros and being from Purelure, it's quite nice. But again, I might delay this a little bit because this rod has been around for a long time. I really want to review it, but I need maybe Best to be around again. Let's see how fishing goes. If I have luck with Xander, I might get the rod by January. Let's see. They sell this in Brazil. It looks good, you know. People is using Amazon. Yeah, I have titanium frame on rods, and I quite like it. I have the Fishing Funds Performance. I quite like the rod. I had a discussion with some guy that said it should be S tier based on the specs. The feel of the rod is something off, and I don't know what. I think it has too much epoxy on the blend. Something like that. Something feels off. This one is already coming. I managed to get a sample. It will be 82 euros plus shipping. It's the Novia Max. It's a new rod. Why did I get it? I get this model. So 2.4 meters. I think it's a 30-ton blank. Man, long rod, 8 foot, 2.4 meters. Looks pretty cool, and the cast weight is from 1.2 to 10 grams, which will come very, very handy on the winter because rivers get very large. I need to go a little bit up on the cast weight to reach bigger chub, barbel, Zander, if I target them, pike, even trout. Trout in Portugal, it's something that you have to fish usually if it's on the beginning of the season with heavier gear that I even usually use for bass, just because of the distance that you have to cover on your casts to get to them. So this one is already coming, but I already got it. Again, titanium frame guides, Alconite rings, and a 30-ton blank. Again, less tonnage on the blank, little bit more expensive than the IQ Violet, but you get a much longer rod with more sensitivity. That is always more expensive. So this is around the same size, similar cast weight of the queuing super lit. Let's see the results when I get it. So I'm very intrigued by this one. This one is something that I was going to get, but I'm not getting because, again, talking with Purelure, the reel seems to be very, very similar to the Miak. I already accomplished a 1 gram cast weight with or 1.5 gram casting with a Miak. So this would be a bit redundant, but if you don't have it, this might be a good option because, as you see on the picture, it has the shallower spool. Man, I'm a sucker for round reels. If all the coupons fall in place, this is something that I really want to get, especially the gold one. It's my face. So the other one that is also coming, not yet, I need to buy it tomorrow. I'm just waiting for the price to drop because I don't have to pay VAT if it's under 150 euros. So I'm getting the real, not this one, the 1.8 grams. So I want something with a little bit more backbone to do some heavier fishing this winter. This sort of the size that I like. I'll probably use to push bass also from cover. I would prefer to get it in casting, but as you can see, the lighter that I can get in casting, it's medium light, so 3.5 to 12 grams. I know that the sensitivity will suffer on the lower end, so and I also want to have spinning rods from Purelure. I'm very curious how because in casting you feel more sensitivity without the rod being more sensitive, if you understand me. So I have both Mifines on 220 centimeters, similar blank, and when I'm fishing the casting version, it feels more sensitive because the way I'm fishing. Usually I'm fishing with casting gear, I'm fishing with a tip up and less slack line. When I'm fishing with spinning gear, I'm usually having the tip a little bit more down because of all the super ultra light tendencies, and I have a little bit more slack line, and you will need a little bit more sensitive, which is why I'm very disappointed with the Spirit Fox, because that rod is damn good but very annoying to use and to match it with a reel that will not have that backlash of the braid on the blank. This was for a viewer, so it's the ask for a combo. This was all looking things for viewers. So other things that I have on my cart, if you're curious, that I'm seeing how they will pan out on price point, it's this casking Castrol, only available on left hand. I'm very suspicious of the price, but it's the Casking official store, so I don't know if it will go very near 100 euros. I might pull the trigger because I'm very curious about the magnesium frame and how the top tier dog of casting for BFS will perform. I quite like the Valiant Eagle 2 Pro. What do I have more on the cart? I have this because I'm a Doom Bass and I want problems in my life, but it looks so nice. So I don't know. And I have this just for shits and giggles. Don't buy this. This doesn't have any braking system, I think. It's very, very slow reel. This is a souvenir, basically. Never use a round reel Rokoyoko. The Leidung Uzup, not this version because people are telling me it's crap. But the last one, it's chef's kiss. I have the Beer King River Flow, which is not available to buy on Aliexpress. It's pretty good. And I have the Delco DKS 50. For what it is, it's a bit too heavy, but it works. So cannot complain there. The only problem with this type of round reels, what is the Swedish brand that I cannot remember the name? Abu Garcia Ambassador style. I think it's Ambassador style of reels, where you have like the two side plates, and then you have just some rods connecting from one side to the other. It's every time you have a bird's nest and for some reason you needed to open and just take the spool out, you have to have a screwdriver with you. That might be annoying and end your day of fishing, but other than that, they are pretty cool. I would say they cast, the models that I have cast a little bit more freely than most of the other counterparts, and they just look cool. There's a cool factor to them, and that's basically it. This one doesn't have any brakes, I think. Actually, it has brakes. It doesn't have any brakes for when you're casting. So this is basically a useless jigging reel, but why would you have a jigging reel with a deep spool? I don't know. What I might do with this is get it, put hybrid ceramics, and just I think, as you can see, it doesn't even have a thumb bar. So you just, everything it's with a finger. So this might be nice to change for full ceramics, because I think it's just 2+1 bearings. Yeah, it's 3 bearings. I don't even know where they are. I would guess one here, and one here. And that's it. But yeah, you see, no braking. The other one, the double 300L. So this one, it has centrifugal brakes, which is also crap or some site of, I think, maybe these ones don't even have brakes. So, yep, this one doesn't have any brakes. They just have drag. So there's also that. Let's see the pictures. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, these are the centrifugal brakes. Hey Ricardo, what do you think about the Abu Garcia BF80 and BF7 from 2016? No idea, never hold one, never used it, cannot really give you a thoughtful opinion. Also, Abu Garcia, it's something that we don't use a lot in Portugal. In Portugal, basically, have Daiwa, Shimano. You have some local white label brands, Heart, saltwater people will have something from Heart, and that's about it. I don't have a lot of penetration from other brands in here, so I'm not that exposed for conventional brands like someone Central Europe states would be. But again, another reel with no. Maybe this is the thumb bar. So very intrigued. This is just out of curiosity. So I might get this one, and if this one is of any use, I might get the double 300L. And what else do I have in my cart? have the Queen Super Lit. I have a bunch of crankweights from Bass Legend, and I have this. Man, I really want one. They all will be 177, except this one. So I really want this reel, just out of curiosity of how better can this be over the Silver Feather Elite. Just out of that curiosity. Yeah, 127 grams, and they look at the slam they do in here, 0.6 to 18 grams. So I really want to get this one. If I can get with coupons the price under 150, I really want to get this one. Because again, 150, it's the VAT limit. So I'm very, 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 very curious about this one. And I think 3 hours is enough of me talking. So if you have any questions, feel free to have them. Again, remember everything that I mentioned except this stuff. But everything that was already like set in during the live, it's available with links down on the description of the video. It's nice to remember that's how I'm able to buy stuff to test. It's through affiliate sales on Aliexpress. So even if you're buying something else, just open the link. If you think my work is of any value, just open a link and buy the normal things that you would buy, and I'll probably get something through it, and it will help ordering stuff to test. And maybe leave a like on the video, something like that, because it's almost 1 a.m. and I need to wake up very, very early. So all the French guys that are already buying stuff, because the promotion there starts at midnight. Any news on the Birking River flow? No. Every time I ask Birking about it, the guy just said to me, do you want to resell it? I can send you like 20 units. You can sell them. You want to open a store and sell the Birking? That's basically all. Every time I ask for news about it, it ends. I think they just sell it internally in China, and they have like slots on a production line, because that's a fully CNC machined reel, and they just have like 20, 30, 50 slots, and they immediately sell it, and they don't even bother to put it on Aliexpress. From what I'm getting right now, through talks with like the major brands on Aliexpress, trying to get some new stuff like I did today with Caesar, trying to know when things will be available, trying to buy prototypes from Mifine so I can have the reviews coming out at the same time as the product. I think the Chinese internal market is getting to the point that if they cannot keep up with the production, they will not bother selling overseas. So that's what we are seeing with Takuma. That's what we are seeing with the DC reels that are being sold by third parties instead of the brands, because the brands are just sending out everything they have, like it happened with iStar. at least what they said to me. I heard the same story about Mifine selling so many or such a big percentage of the volume internally that it will take some time from the, like, I could have the outrange like 3 or 4 months earlier because I forgot to ask them to send me when I knew that they had it, because of vacations and other stuff. I forgot, and they had it already out in China for a couple. They were just like flooding the market, and as soon as they were able to keep up the production, then they start to release it to us outside of China. So we'll be seeing that on the future if the market for fishing, especially ultralight fishing in China, continues to grow. You will be seeing that. So you will be seeing like shop 1,000, 1 million, one number, whatever store selling like mix match brands. You will have Takuma, iStar, you will have maybe DMK, you'll have a lot of reels coming out and rods and other, probably reels because it's easier for a small guy to just go on the store, buy it or order from the brand and resell it on Aliexpress. You will be seeing that a lot in the future. That's my prediction. They are selling so much stuff internally that they don't need us that fast. So they are not releasing to us, they are releasing to themselves. And after that, we can get when they can keep up with the production. And we've seen that with Purelure. They've worked in the past with guys from Germany, and they are still working, but I think they are developing rods more and more and more internally. I've worked with Mifine for the ergonomics on the nano jig. I've worked with Mifine in unreleased rods. Ellen Spiegel, I just bought a Nano Jig Zero and a Wolf School. Now I found a microbite and don't know if I bought the right products. So if you bought those two, I think you are into super ultralight fishing and very ultralight, let's call it that. You will not have any problems casting with the Skull Wolf or the Wolf Skull. It will cast very well. So and I would say that even though you cannot get the full size, the rod overall, the Wolf Skull, it's better than the microbite, but the availability that you have with a microbite inside it's a lot more versatile. Yeah, but you are able to do the same with both rods if you don't really need to get a microbite. Love my Nano Jig Zero, will buy a microbite 0.3 grams now. I want one. I want a casting version, or at least a 0.5 to 5 grams. That would be really cool. But again, I will not even open my Excel of shame. Last time I've counted before I do this purchase on the 11/11, I had 98 reels and 103 rods. And I don't have on the Excel file all the medium rods that I've bought. I don't have in there, like I bought the Shimano Sienna, the Revros that I've bought locally, the Shimano FX, the Daiwa Aired. I don't have those in there. So it's just gear that I've bought on Aliexpress. So I think I have too many rods and reels, but Yeah, thank you for believing on my opinion. Again, I don't think I have the best opinions on stuff. I have a way of fishing, so if you see my tier lists, they are based on the ability to fish like most rods. It will be 2 grams. If it's like a super ultralight rod, I want it to fish like 0.5 grams. Bait casting reels will be the same. I want my bait casters all to throw 2 grams. That's the standard. Spinning reels, I just want them to work and feel okay. Again, spinning reels is a thing that, other than the line lay issue, and if they don't have a lot of play, I really don't care that much. They are just there to push to reel the fish in and to let the line go. That's why I'm scouring Aliexpress and even Alibaba to find all the reels that say that they'll have improved line lay. That will be the focus on the next batch of things that I've ordered, and I still have a lot of things to review over there. That's a good thing, because I think this is already a family talk. So next year, so this year I will continue to do I will be fishing here. I will try to go after Zander. I'll try to go after pike if it starts to go before December. And my idea with the money that I'm getting from AliExpress on affiliate sales, it's continuing to buy gear, get the idea of the like counterpart from Daiwa or Shimano at the €50 price point. So the thing that everyone everywhere in the world can buy from a store, is it worth it to buy from AliExpress? Are you getting anything more? That sort of stuff, I will do it. And another thing that I want to do, since now with tariffs, most of my viewers shifted to Europe, I want to do a fishing review of Portugal. So going from place to place, and ideally I will be spending some of my money, but I would like it to be not to be a stress on me, and I would like to do very cheap accommodation. Try to do it near or accessible by transportation from the airport, and do a review. So if you want to come and fish in Portugal, you can go directly to Porto Airport through Ryanair very, very cheaply. You can go to Lisbon Airport. You can go to Faro Airport. You get on a train from here to here. It will be very, very cheaply. You have this hotel. You can even make it a romantic trip if you don't want to leave your wife nagging you through the phone. You can go to this place, or you have this sort of restaurant which is very, very cheaply. I want to do, even if it's just like 3-4 videos per year, I want to do a series like that, like a fishing review in Portugal. I'm trying to work on the idea. I have some hotels that are very near and they have lakes inside. I'm trying to work with them on a way that I don't get there, because it's not that expensive to be there. I think it's like you can get there in best season outside of like high season and pay like €70 per night, and it's like a 1 or 2 bedroom sort of villa with kitchen, so you can prepare your own food. So I would say very inexpensive in a European scheme of things, and they have lakes with bass in them. I will try to go there next spring, do a video about it. Man, I'm really eager to do that. Douro, which is very near Porto, you can take you can take a plane to Porto and just go fishing Douro, because they have trains that go through Douro. You see where I'm going. I'm trying to expand a little bit, just not do reviews. Reviews will keep doing. I'm now comfortable enough where I know I can either with 2 videos, if it's like I have a lot to say about the product, or just compound everything in one video. If I'm running and for some reason I cannot, or I have a lot of smaller sessions and I never feel confident in any session because I not know if I'll do another one, to do the like intros and outros very elaborated. I'll just put everything together in one video with the unboxing and the in-water video, even if it's dubbed. I think I'm through my paces. You will have next year at least, I would say, 52 gear reviews. So one item per week. Maybe you will get, like I did this year, you will get like rod and reel, and then you get fishing with boat. I will try to do it. So expect at least 52 products to get review next year, plus tier lists, plus the lives. If I cannot do lives, I will do the preview shows for the sales videos, and I will try to do that Fishing Portugal series. And taking my wife, which is very risky, but it might work. Any lures for perch or bass, soft baits in particular, came in late, sad. You don't need to be sad. This is 3 hours and 12 minutes long. If you want to rewatch it, do it at your own risk. If you rewatched it, which is I think too late on the video to say it, do it. I will try to fix it next time. I need to watch some tutorials, but you view it with a chat on, because I respond to a lot of questions, more than usual. So I would do that. So you're seeing lures for perch and bass. So I would basically go to look for Supercontinente, not Dragon Ball Z. So depends. You want it for what season of the year. So winter bass will be crap. So I would say perch. So for So for bass, this is what I like. I think this is like a mental thing. I think I have more success with dual tone lures. So I would go, not this one, sorry. Is this one, the O color? I would go with this one. So how the hell can you catch, where are you at that you're catching bass on the winter? You bastards. In the winter I cannot catch bass. It's too cold, they disappear. I think they go to Africa to, they do a big migration. But again, this is what I usually use for bass. If they are near grass, I would throw this. Again, my two biggest basses, on river basses, so which is a different beast from lake bass. So my two biggest bass are from river, heavy current river, so nice fights. Were both catch with this crow, the 40 centimeter version. So this is what I would use. Okay, so if you can catch perch, I would maybe use this crawl. If it's winter, I might go with crazier colors for obvious reasons, because if you use this with a EWG hook, the ones from Supercontinent are great. I'm usually a pond largemouth guy. Okay, with a pond, depend. If you have grass, throw this. If it's like sloped banks, throw this. If it's like directly down, I might go with paddle tails, which they also have in here. So just get crazy on the Supercontinent store. I would grab some tantas. They are great for perch and bass. I would grab some Polaris. How do you use those lobsters with shab rigs? The same way I use everything else. I basically have, when I'm using a bait caster, I just have, I'm taking this out. I have a 2 gram chab weight. If I'm not doing anything crazy and I'm just trying to catch bass. And I have this very, very small size 10 EWG hooks. I grab the lobster, which I think I have in here. Because I just run out. So I have here in a different color. Whoa. This one smells like squid. So if I'm using the size 10 EWG from Supercontinente, which what I do to be more effective, it's, you see the appendages in here? I might show it in here on the screen, which is simpler. You see this last part of the body in here? I nibble that part out of the plastic, so where the hook will trespass is almost on the head of the, so the hook will come out in here almost. With the hook coming out in here, you'll get great hookup ratios. If I need something heavier, imagine that the grass, it's very, how do I say, very dense, and you have to go past the grass. You get a size 6 EWG hook, which will fit in here very perfectly. You get a size 6, a stouter hook, so it needs to be larger diameter. And let me see if I can find it in here, so you have an idea. I think it's Samola that sells it. 3.5. What? It's these ones. You can get this on bundle deals. You don't have to buy this one, but I basically get these ones. I get a stouter hook, size 6. I don't take out anything, any meat from my craw, and that's it. If I need harder hook sets for some reason, if I need to go through heavier grass, if I need my craw to stay put, and this will cut grass a lot easier than the chab, because the surface area, it's a lot, the dynamic of the chab, it's a lot better. It's more pointy, it will be better cutting through grass. The only annoying part is that the wire is too thick and it's a bit troublesome to get the setup right. But after you do that, it's set for life and you can fish a lot. And everything is very inexpensive. These ones, I think you can get it for $1.99 on bundle deals. Or you have another brand that will sell you, I think, 10 for €3, but I cannot find it. If you do image search with this, you will get the one that I'm talking about. It's €3 something, €3.20. You will get a pack of 10 instead of this one. They are very, very, very good for this sort of fishing. Again, size 6 AWG, it will work very, very well. What you also can do with that, it's put a bigger tenter. Or this sort of, when I'm fishing lakes, I use Ned rigs and I also use the EWG hook with this short worms, like stubby worms or whatever you want to call it. It works very, very well. So the sort of tanta I would use with this chab and the bigger EWG hook, it's like, for some reason the weight is missing in here. It's not this one. I would get these ones, the 51 centimeter version. You can use this one with bigger versions of the thin wire hook from Super Continente, but I think the size 6, the way they bite this, it works very well. So, and this one, it's TPE, they will last you a long time. And you can get the same, I think I have it in here. Even though these ones are from Peak, they have a better bag. Luxafer, which is the brand of the ball sacks of plastic, makes these, which are the magic tantas that catch everything, and they are €1 less. I think it's $1.86 per pack. I think I put it on one of my last videos, so pretty inexpensive for what they last. I think I still have laying around. The only thing you cannot do is leave them wet. And if they dry very quickly, they get like very brittle. If you let them dry on like a fishing tackle box where they will dry very slowly, they are okay. It's a very weird material, TPE. And just don't get the pink one, it will mess up your fingers. It's the coloring is not done right. So if anyone has any more questions while I closed the 300,000 tabs that I have open, and you hear all the clicking because I don't have the noise cancelling software on, feel free to make the last question because it's almost 1:30 in the morning and I might catch 7 hours of sleep if I'm fast. Nobody uses Shabrick in Brazil. So what do you use to sink stuff? I'm not reading when you're praising me. It sounds very weird. I have to say. I see guys doing live streams and it's very weird. I say, "You're good, you're great, man. I love your content." Nah, thank you. I fish in PNW in USA. PNW. PNW. Not Pennsylvania. Point West? No. That is the Pacific Northwest. Okay. Okay. So you are near Oregon? That sort of stuff? The stupid part of Canada where they speak the wrong language? Okay. So what you get there, trout? I know that Canada is above, and it's the ones that talk like this, and you have to respect my culture because I'm joking. I just don't respect the French people that have access to 11:11 at 11 o'clock in Portugal, because in France there's 1 hour difference from us. So I could be doing all my Aliexpress buying and be on bed by now on France. I would have like 3 hours already of spending money. Oh, that's a lot of... oh, man, that's one species I really wanted to have in Portugal. Crappie. Sounds... That and perch sounds perfect for what we do. Man, stop bragging. Walleye, pike, steelhead. We have trout, we have bluegill, we have bass. We don't have salmon. We have, but it's like we don't have it. Perch we have some, but the Environment Agency is just frying them with chocks. Walleye we have zander, which is basically the same. I would love to have also smallmouth in here. We have like a very dark largemouth, which would behave the same way as a smallmouth. They will get behind rocks. They will head on the current, so on the river. They fight way harder than any lake bass. They get very, very dark, and they will just hide. Like the exact same way I see fishing for smallmouth, I can fish in here for largemouth on the current. So it's actually quite nice. I wish I had. They seem a lot more aggressive than largemouth. I bet crappie is very fun because in here, if you're last year, sunfish fishing was very good, like bluegill, and we are catching bluegill almost the size of the hand, and we were using the illusion slash. I was with a friend, and I was using the ghost blade. And when you catch a bass, you just can put the head out, and after you put the head out, you can just skip it. If you have a fast enough reel, you can just keep it above the water, no matter the size. But it's just so much fun because the way they are so flat, they can just maneuver around, and they will pull a lot harder if you give them room to than I would like a double-sized bass. So if you have like a bluegill this size, it will fight a lot harder than a double the size bass. And we have like all sorts of catfish now in Portugal. Like a friend of mine was fishing on a subboard, like I sometimes do, and he sent me a picture of, I don't know what's the name because it's not something that I target, but it had like very stubby how do you call it? Very stubby catfish, like brown. We have the big ones, the European ones, the Cirulu. Good evening, Stinky River Tom. He let it fall on the subboard and it fall backwards, and it was small but chunky, so I would say 300 400 gram catfish, and it fall with a spine right on the subboard, and it just got a flat tire on the subboard, and that was the end of the session. So not that great. It got catfished. It thought it got a small barbel, which is like, I don't know, it's like a baby sturgeon. If you see anyone fishing a sturgeon, imagine that you give all the EPO that Lance Armstrong took, so it can last longer, and you gave it roid. So barbel fight like that. Other than putting the head out of the water, which is not usual, but I think I have it on video on the, I think it's the Leidum Usu preview, where I almost catch a barbel on the bank, very near the bank, and my braid just explodes. It thrashed out of the water, but they fight like a tank. It's the hardest freshwater fishing that fighting fish that we have by far. So it's the equivalent there as a sucker, I think. But the difference is that ours live on heavy current, and they are basically just muscle. So it's like roid rage carp. I'm fascinated with Eurofishing. I'm adding barbel to my Euro bucket list. Man, it's hard. So I don't like to target barbel like 90% of time, because I'm fighting. I'm fishing with very light stuff, and you will not get it. So every time you see me on video and you just see the rod do this and the line break, it's because I hooked the barbel. Thanks, Stinky River Tom, for the sub. Fortunately, I think I might be able to break the 4,000 by the end of the year, hopefully. So it would be a nice mark to end the year. Barbel, it's a tank. I've got one this year, 50 something centimeters. Luckily, as I said, the heaviest fishing I do during the year, it's for trout, because the rivers where they are so long that I have to cast very, very far, and you have to retrieve them very, very quickly so you can return them safely. And I was fishing with a microbite, and the video of the catch is with Surunoia metis. I've got it very near the bank, and you can hear my drag, which is almost close, just scream a lot. Also, I think the Aurora Air Review, you have two barbels just blasting away and breaking everything and doing that. Any other micro jigs than the Takedo HDS 3-1s? Yes, I think Zukibo has one. Let me just check if I remember correctly, I have those ones. I think I've recommended those ones. Again, micro jigs and micro shutterbaits are very hard to find. So these ones have they still have a big hook for my liking, but it's probably one of the best, the smaller ones that you can find. And Zukibo. Zukibo has one. Now, if I will be able to find it, it's another question. So again, nice gloves from Zukibo. Fishing hooks. Nice, it doesn't work. I think it's the French people all buying. Hey, thanks for the $5 donation. If you got a free pass to the USA for a fishing trip, what you would target and where? Man, that's a hard question. You know that I listen to Tackle Talk podcast on the way to work sometimes, and all the tips that they give, they are very very helpful and very very useless for Portugal. And the guy doesn't like VFS, but I still listen, and I also listen to the Mercer podcast sometimes with the pros. So I'm very torn apart, because one thing I would like to do is catch crappie, catch a largemouth, not largemouth, smallmouth, and you have so many exotic species. But basically for ultralight, I would say that the things I miss the most, and I cannot do in Europe, it's smallmouth and crappie. Maybe the Great Lakes have them, and they also have muskie and smaller pike. I think would be like that. Even though everyone wants to go to Florida and get peacock bass and very very big largemouth, I would say, out of just curiosity of the, because I know largemouth, I would go there. I would go to, if there is crappie, which I think there is, maybe the Great Lakes, somewhere on that region. I think that's like from Michigan to Canada, something like that. So sorry, because I'm European, so if this is the United States, in here you have Texas, you have Florida, you have like New York and Maine on top, and in here somewhere you have like Michigan. So the lakes are on this region until you reach Canada, no? So I would go something like that, somewhere where I can catch like crappie and smallmouth. It's like with perch in Europe. It's like something that I really dream that some, let's call it for legal reasons, some douchebag accidentally released them on the wild in Portugal in one of our wasted waterways. Like my hometown river, we have chub, and basically it's the only thing that can thrive on some parts of the river system. So I'm very grateful for the douchebag that released them. And someone put perch somewhere. We have catfish. So I would be very curious to go after crappie, smallmouth. I think the best spot for, you know what? There's a YouTube channel which is Creek Fishing Adventures. He does a podcast once per month, sometimes with Fish Anything, the guy from Mule Fishing, which is someone that I watched early on the beginning, because he always uses ultralight stuff. I think Tennessee has smallmouth, it has crappie, it has largemouth, and it has trout very close. I think there's largemouth there on the Tennessee River. Smallmouth on the Tennessee River. So that might be a good spot to go. But northern Wisconsin, that's, man, I'm sorry because I'm European, but Wisconsin, that's right on the middle, no? It's state right on the middle of the states. If I'm very bad at geography, I have to say that. But I was looking, this for by the Great Lakes, but a little north. So still inside, no? So I don't know who asked about for someone who asked about the jigs. Here are the links from the ones that I'm looking right now. The small ones, they have from 1 up to 22 millimeter hook length. So pretty small. Ricardo, use Braid from Aliexpress basically exclusively. I never bought line from there, and I don't know if I should try. I use Suffix Nano Braid, but it's so expensive nowadays. Borderline overpriced. So I use the Daiwa. The most common one. What is the name? Daiwa. The Daiwa Braid. Man, my brain, it's Daiwa J-Braid. Yes, thank you. I used Daiwa J-Braid, but then it started to go to crap. I messed with some from AliExpress, very inexpensive one, like Marvelous Killers. First spool was great, it worked very well. It was, I would say, around the same quality as the J-Braid. Second spool was crap, and then I started to buy, I think, Searnite Nano something. That one is quite good, but the breaking point, usually it's the other way around, but the brazen resistance was very low. Then I switched to Microfly. I bought a bunch of spools of them. I use them. At some point, quality control went downhill, and I started to get breakage. Then I move up to, and I've tried a bunch of them. But I'm talking about buying more than one spool. I have a lot of reels. I test a lot of reels, so I go through a lot of braid. I tested all the cheap ones. They were all crap. If you're going with very heavy fishing, like, you can buy Joff braid and it will work very well. If you're doing like bass fishing on the let's call it on the offensive sort of expression of bass fishing, you can go with very cheap braid. If you're doing ultralight, and now I just stick with, I mess with some Zukibo lines, I mess with some Solo King and Kingdom, like the Wraith from Solo King, the pink. I never had a spool fail me. It's quite nice. I like pink because it's visible on video. That's why I usually use more vibrant colors, because it's easier to see on video. Other than that, I don't care about the color of the braid really. Ending X8 Blast, but because for some reason disappeared right now, it's quite good. If you can source it, the 8 pound and 10 pound, very thin, very good quality. It has coating, very smooth. If you have a reel that has very good line management and line lay, it's super. I think the last time I bought it, I bought, I think it's yards, 500 yards, but it's 450 something meters. I paid, I think, 15 euros for the spool. It's a great reel. Last time I was fishing, I snagged my EWG hook, and I'm not talking the one from Supercontinente very thin, a proper EWG size 6 hook. I snagged it. I pulled the snag. I had 0.21 millimeter fluorocarbon leather, and I almost cried. I was so proud of my knots. I pulled it, I yanked it, and I bended the hook, and the 8 pound line didn't break. So pretty good, the X8 Blast from Handing. If I want something cheap, I have like 3 or 4 spools when I'm just testing a reel and I don't know if I want to keep it. I just put Zukibo Fake. It's not the best reel on the world, the best braid on the world, but it's very consistent. So if you're just planning to have a spare reel, you will not fish it like from, I don't know, multiple sessions per week. It will last you, like, I would say with heavy use, 3-4 months, but it's very cheap. You can get 100 meters. So if you're a BFS guy, you can get 100 meters for, I don't know, 3 euros. You can get it very thin, 0.2 PE, very cost effective. Then you have like better lines from Zukibo, which are quite nice. On my heavier setups, I'll use the line that they have, which is 13 or 12+1. They only have it on emerald green. And then on my fanciest stuff, I go with the LSP Thunderstorm. The pink one that you see on my Purelure Silver Feather Air. That braid is actually pretty awesome. In Europe, braid is very expensive, man. I have one from Mikado, which it's actually quite nice and quite thin. And 150 meters, it's at 11, 12 euros. And we are talking about like a very affordable brand. But again, for braid, that's what I use. The only thing I really care about braid is that it doesn't get any fluffy. If it has coating, it should not stick to itself. With ultralight, that's a killer. If you're fishing heavier stuff like 3 grams and up, it will not care. But if you're trying to send a Tanta with a 0.3 gram jig head and the braid sticks to itself, it's killing the casting distance, and most importantly, the consistency. That's why I stopped using Kingdom Microfly, because sometimes so the LSP, which is my favorite line. And again, I said I have Varivas there in one reel. The LSP, I think I have the link on the description. I bought 500 meters last, like mid-year sale. I bought 500 meters for 27 euros. So I got it for 27 euros with coupons, discounts, and all that stuff. And I got 500 meters. It's an X8 0.6p, quite thin. So it will not be the thinnest for baitcasters. I recommend it. For super ultralight, you should just get the Zukibo Fake and change it more often. But it's so good. Again, what you want, 1 to 4 kilos max, it's the one that I was talking about. It's the Ending X8 Blast, which is this one. This is on bundle deals, but you can see, look at the price. This is a braid that is coated, 1559 euros, 457 meters for of 10 pound braid. If I can see the table, yeah, in here you cannot see the table because it's the bundle deals page. If it was on the cell phone, I think, man, this is very annoying. So the diameter for the 8 pound, and this is the real diameter. This one is one of the few ones where the diameter is very accurate. I have the 8 pound, and it really is 0.10 millimeters. It's very, very thin. This is perfect for spinning reels. If I'm going with spinning reels, I will get something like this. Unfortunately, I cannot for the life of me source like another brand that sells, because I don't think that is Ending making the braid. I think they just source it from someone, but I cannot find any braid that is similar to this one. It has coating, it's thin, it has a lot of strength, so 8 pounds is 4 kilos, but it's still very thin. You can compensate that with a leather. So looking pretty good. But another good thing, look, this bundle deals is actually quite nice. Look at what you can get in here. You can get the white weight, the 2 centimeter in here. You can get the LSP for $9.99. You can get the Lureholic, the smaller size of the wacky rig hook. It's actually quite good. So pretty awesome things in here. The Caesar X8 braid, the red one. This one is a little bit thicker than the stated. A lot of nice stuff in here. But I think it's time to call it a day, because the live is already on 4 hours. So last few questions in if you have them, and after that I'm going to eat something and sleep, because tomorrow it's a working day. Not on the morning, but on the afternoon. So, and again, if you have any idea for tier lists, I will probably open a poll or just a post, so you can give the... You said that 30 minutes ago, man, I really need to go. I have to take my kid to school at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's already 2. So luckily I would get 6 hours of sleep, but I'm not. I don't think so. So again, I will be doing this, I don't know, when it's Black Friday. It's 21 or 22, the Black Friday. I have no idea, because they will do another sale. So I'll probably do another video, another live by then. Hopefully with the stuff from Caesar already out, so we can see if how will be the price of the DC reel from Caesar and the Stradic from iStar. Look, Purelure Creek Dance, 49 euros. Look, the cool looking 2-section crankbait that weighs 2.6 grams from Leydon. Why this keeps appearing? $100 pieces of 0.3 PE tungsten shell weights seems reasonable. Yeah, I think I'm calling it a day. So look at the blast braid, because right before I did the list for the video, I was looking to braids, because it's one thing like the tungsten that you can buy a lot and take advantage of the promotions. It's not like I could do lures, but the video would be like 12 hours long just for me to cover all the links. But braid, it's something that you can store it and will last if it's not exposed to the elements, and you can buy in bulk, especially if you are like a gearhead and you are not like me, because I have really too many fishing stuff. But it's something that you can store like the tungsten, and it's very expensive on store, so it's worth to order. Again, if you have any suggestion for video series, for tier series, for all that good sort of stuff, feel free to leave the suggestions down on the comments of this video later. Let me check if I have to. Okay. Hopefully the chat will stay, so people rewatching this, the masochists that will watch for hours of this, can know what you are asking me. And I promise that I will look into some sort of software that or plugin that I can put, so all your questions and all your comments will appear on screen. So I will look into that. So probably, hopefully next Black Friday we'll have it working. And I'm going to, now I'm going to sleep. So I'll see you guys on my next video. And this looked different than what I was doing, but either way, I will see you guys on my next video. If you like the video, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Again, please, if you enjoy the content, the best way to support me and other creators, if you like them, it's still here. Fender fingers, don't tempt me to stay here another hour. It's too late. Please, if you like the content that our guys that review stuff do, please support us through the affiliate links, even if you just buy a pack of hooks. That's usually what helps a lot. YouTube doesn't pay that much. don't believe in Mr. Beast. And again, I'm open to suggestions for video series, what you want to see. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.